to subscribe.
You're watching YurView Football, brought to you by Carl's Jr. A busy Friday night in San Diego has brought us to Torrey Pines High School, where the Morse Tigers, 7-4 on the season, are taking on the Santa Fe Christian Eagles. It is the second round of the Division II playoffs, and again, our game tonight is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Good evening, everyone. Austin Lyon, Jeff Sharon, thank you so much for joining us. Two teams that love to run the football in the second round of the playoffs tonight. Each of these teams averages more than 275 yards per game on the ground.
Yeah, Austin, if things go according to plan tonight, we might be here for only about an hour and a half between these two teams. But interesting how we have a matchup between a team in Santa Fe Christian who's actually cold coming into the playoffs, but still managed to get the bye despite losing 3 of their last 5. On the other side, Morse won their first round playoff game, and they are trying to actually upset the team that already has the bye. So this should be a very interesting matchup between these two teams. Two sides of the same coin, if you will.
Morse coming off a first-round win over Mira Mesa. As we show you the keys to game for each of these teams, what do you like for the Tigers?
Well, for the Morse Tigers, you got to climb Jacob's ladder. Who's Jacob? He's Jacob Hicks, the 5'11", 185-pound junior. In the win last week over Mira Mesa, he had 173 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had 201 and 4 scores in a blowout win over University City. Counted up 374 and 6 touchdowns the last 2 games.
Santa Fe Christian going to be relying on an opportunistic defense.
Yeah, and they're going to have to, because in a game with two teams with this kind of style, it's going to come down to who makes mistakes. And so far this season, Santa Fe Christian has forced their opponents to make a lot of them. 26 forced turnovers this year. On the flip side, Morse only half that. So Santa Fe Christian is going to have to live off the turnover if they want to get the victory tonight.
17 fumble recoveries this year for Santa Fe Christian. A lot of eyes on this guy tonight. You've already mentioned him, Jacob Hicks, a star on both sides of the field.
Yeah, and he's really stepped it up since Michael Cunningham went down. 1,170 all-purpose yards and 14 touchdowns for the young junior. Very talented, and he has stepped it up, carrying the load for the Tigers.
Also 10 tackles defensively a week ago in that win for Santa Fe Christian. Kian Hogan, a versatile offensive threat.
Yeah, and take a look at this video where he's actually throwing the football, because we probably won't see much of it tonight. 624 rushing yards and 9 rushing touchdowns for Kian, a 5'11", 170-pound senior. He's part of a cast of many for the Eagles who look to dominate the clock and run the ball down the other team's throat.
Two teams hoping to run their way into the third round of the playoffs. It's the YurView Football, brought to you by Carl's Jr. Opening kickoff from Torrey Pines is next.
Game time high school football action on YurView is sponsored by Carl's Jr. When you're the big Carl from Carl's Jr., everybody wants a piece of you. Double the juicy, char-broiled beef, melty cheese, classic sauce on a warm toasted bun. The big Carl from Carl's Jr. Football fans, for more high school football coverage, check out YurView.com.
I'm Haley Stasiak with your Game Time Minute, presented by Carl's Jr. You hungry for the big Carl and those juicy double patties? Get yours today at Carl's Jr. In the San Diego section Open Division, number 2 Cathedral Catholic takes on number 3 Carlsbad. The Dons and the Lancers matched up in the same positioning last season in the Open Division. Cathedral Catholic shut out Carlsbad 35-0 and went on to win the title. In Division II, Morse matches up with Santa Fe Christian. Keep an eye on the Tigers' backfield and running backs Michael Cunningham and Jacob Hicks. The two combined for 2,028 yards and 27 touchdowns. As the 4 seed, the Eagles got a bye last week, so they're coming off some rest ahead of this big matchup with the Tigers. That's what we've got for your Game Time Minute. Our featured game of the week is number 3 Mission Hills versus number 6 La Costa Canyon in Division I action. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. And don't forget to subscribe.
You're watching YurView Football, brought to you by Carl's Jr. Welcome back to Torrey Pines. Moments away from kickoff between Morse and Santa Fe Christian as we spend a moment down on the field with a third member of our crew. Here's Emily Harlan.
Thanks, guys. You know, I spoke to Morse head coach Tracy McNair about the message going into this game tonight. He said the main thing he told his players was just to stay healthy, execute their game plan, and win. When I asked him what he focused on in practice this week, he said, you know what, make no mistakes and focus on their chemistry together. Now, on the other side of the field, I talked to Santa Fe Christian head coach John Wallace about his message coming to the game. He said, have some discipline, play with their kind of football, and play with some passion. Talking about their focus coming into this game tonight and practice, he said, you know what? Play for each other and have some fun. We forget about this a lot, but it's Friday Night Lights here. He said, enjoy it while it's here. Thanks, guys. I'm tossing it back to you.
Emily, a lot of teams wish they were on the field tonight. A lot of high school football players sitting at home. So you hope these players enjoy the moment. Morse won the toss and deferred their option. So Santa Fe Christian will receive the opening kickoff. Zachary Hess, also a linebacker and running back. He will handle the kicking duties for the Morse Tigers. And you will be seeing a lot of guys play on both sides of the ball. Some Ironman football between these Division II programs tonight. We start with an onside kick, and it is covered by Santa Fe Christian. The Eagles will start with it at midfield. Jack Hartung recovering.
Well, that's one way to actually start a playoff game, really, is try the little onside kick, but good job by Hartung being heads up and getting on top. And now Santa Fe has very good field position to start off at midfield.
Starting lineup for the Eagles, brought to you by Carl's Jr. Thomas Grupner only played in a couple of games, broken wrist in the early part of the season. Kian Hogan starts the game at running back. He is the focal point for this offense, which starts, not surprisingly, with a run, and the interior of the Morse defense up to the task on the first snap.
Yeah, and get used to seeing this because we're going to see a lot of it tonight. It comes down to execution with these two teams running this option-related offense, and then the defense is, can you force a turnover and get key stops on third down? That's going to be the key for both of these squads.
Winters and Hogan in the backfield after a gain of 1. And off the left side, that is Jack Winters, senior, who has 52 carries on the year coming into the game tonight, tracked down by Jabez Lasso.
Yeah, one of these three seniors who are the top out of the top 4 rushers for Santa Fe Christian. They have 4 guys who've run for more than 370 yards this year. Of course, Stephen Britton not playing. The junior led them this season with 684, but he hasn't played since September. So it's pretty much been Hogan, Weeks, and Winters carrying the load this year for Santa Fe Christian. Here comes a big third down.
Grupner, 8 of 15 passing this season for 111 yards. Going to put it up here on third down. And before the snap, we get a flag.
Looks like we'll have motion.
Called against the Eagles, 5-yard penalty.
And that'll back them up to a big 3rd and 11 now. So in a game where the styles of play between these two teams is all about execution, penalties are also going to be key. So 3rd and 11, do you dare put the ball in the air here, Austin Lyon, if you're Santa Fe Christian? Let's see what they decide to do.
It looked like Grupner was going to throw on 3rd down and 6, but limiting mistakes a big key for both of these teams. Oftentimes when you think about playoff games, sometimes the outcomes are determined by mistakes, not by big plays. Grupner on the move on 3rd down and 11. And he slings it incomplete. Hartung the intended target, and he couldn't squeeze it. Jaden Parafina in coverage for Morse.
Now, Grupner has only thrown 15 times on the year. This is attempt number 16, and a great defensive play, although it looked like he had it for a second but dropped it. Well, it looks like it might have been short of the first down anyway, so Santa Fe Christian has to punt on their opening possession.
Accurate ball delivered by Grupner there on 3rd down and 11. Hartung unable to squeeze it. He is the leading receiver for this team with 72 receiving yards. So 3 and out for Santa Fe Christian on their first possession of the game. Punt picked up at the 10 and returned just beyond the 15. So Santa Fe Christian started at midfield. Morse will have it deep in their own territory. The Tigers at 7-4 this season, coming off a win a week ago against Mira Mesa. Lost to Mira Mesa 28-6 in the regular season. They come back and win 24-7 in the first round of the playoffs. And the defense only allows 7 points. That matches a season low.
Yeah, and they've been the key so far. But like we said, you talked about how they're not allowing a lot of points, but they're also not forcing a lot of turnovers. For Santa Fe Christian's forced twice as many turnovers this year, but their defense is going to have to step up. But let's see what their offense decides to do, because they can be explosive, as we've seen so far this season, and especially in the first playoff game that they played.
Entire offensive line shifts to the left, and Morse draws Santa Fe Christian into the neutral zone. So a free 5 yards for the Tigers.
Okay, so we've seen an onside kick on the opening kickoff. Now we've seen a lot of shifting by Morse, and that'll pick up another 5. So first 2 penalties against Santa Fe Christian.
Santa Fe Christian defense. Again, the lineups brought to you by Carl's Jr. See Hogan among the defensive backs. And keep an eye on Gavin Guldseth, as the first play from scrimmage for Morse is bottled up. A lot of bodies right in the middle of the field, with both of these teams wanting to run the football.
Yeah, there you see Francisco Martinez, the senior fullback, 5'8", 185 pounds, coming out of there for that on that first play. They're trying to run it a quick snap here, but they'll run it straight out of the huddle here on 2nd and 11. But we're going to see, again, a lot of this quick action at the snap from Morse. What are they going to? They're trying to catch you out of position and shut down the distance between where the ball carrier action is and the point of attack.
Well, counter action run by Morse, and they'll have a first down out beyond the 30. That is Colin Sablin. Only had 5 carries a week ago. His first touch tonight goes for a first down.
Yeah, this is kind of like, again, we're going to see this from both sides, but Morse is particularly good at executing this. It's almost like a, not a hide the ball move, but who's got it coming out of the shotgun snap. They're trying to confuse you, get you out of position. A lot of misdirection is what we're going to see tonight.
Eye discipline required for both of these defenses. All the way, it's a run to the right for Hicks. A couple of broken tackles at the line of scrimmage. But Santa Fe Christian pursuing Jacob Hicks. Ultimately, the whistles blow after a pickup of 1.
Yeah, but you saw some of the power of Jacob Hicks on that run. It looked like Jack Hartung was there to make the play. The forward progress gave him about the 33, but you see him forcing guys. That was Major Lattimore who kind of got shoved to the ground, but that's the power right there by Jacob Hicks. I beg your pardon, that was Kian Hogan, actually, who Hicks stiff-armed to the ground. Big 2nd and 9 here.
Chase Levesque ultimately cleans up the play. All 11 bodies inside the tackles for Morse. Their first offensive drive of the game. Santa Fe Christian went 3 and out, and once again a pre-snap penalty.
They're going to call false start here based on that shift. Yep.
False start against the Tigers.
This time it cost the Tigers 5, and the down and distance so important for both of these teams given their lack of ability to throw the football.
Right, and we've talked all the time about how important penalties are, but for these teams that get 4 or 5 yards a chunk, even a 5-yard mistake is so critical. Both teams have been facing 2nd and 11s now in their first possession, but let's see what Morse can come up with here.
Big Brige White comes into the game and lines up at wide receiver, but once again it's a run, direct snap. Francisco Martinez dragging a defender downfield up near the 50-yard line for Francisco Martinez, coming off a game in which he rushed for 131 yards.
Yeah, 131 of his 279 on the season. Watch the snap, and then he's able to get the stiff arm once again on Kian Hogan and carrying him all the way past midfield to get the first down of the game.
Martinez seeing a lot more time in the backfield because of the injury to Michael Cunningham. Outstanding athlete who rushed for more than 1,000 yards and 15 touchdowns. He is unavailable likely for the remainder of the season as the Tigers move it into Santa Fe Christian territory with another Martinez run.
The direct snap to the back right out of the shotgun. Boy, it does remind you of the Dolphins with the Wildcat and Ronnie Brown back in the days of the NFL. And in a case where what you want to do is execute your blocking properly, best way to do that is be your own blocker right here.
This time it's Hicks off the right side. Santa Fe Christian strings him out, and he's out of bounds at the 45 to set up 3rd down and 4. Really throwback offenses. I've seen Santa Fe Christian in some wing T. This is a single wing look for Morse.
Yeah, this harkens back to the 1920s, and it's getting a hat on a hat if you're the offensive line. Do you find the right matchups? Do you block your man in front of you, and then can the back carry a tackler for an extra 2 or 3 yards? So far, Morse has been doing that, but a big 3rd down here.
Near the midway point of the opening quarter, drive for Morse started from their own 16. First possession for the Tigers, a little counter action. Sablin with his second carry, and he's dragged down after a pickup of 1. So it'll be 4th down and 3, and a decision for Coach Tracy McNair.
It looks like the offense might stay on the field here for this 4th and 3, but take a look at the counter play on the inside handoff, and then an excellent play for Santa Fe Christians. That's number 34, Chase Levesque, getting a hold of the jersey, and they are going to go for it here, Austin.
Important play here in the early part of the game. Morse going to go for it on 4th and 3, and the ball is out.
Ball's out.
Picked up by Santa Fe Christian at the 46-yard line. Their 18th fumble recovery of the year. Luca Torti, the sophomore, jumped on it for the Eagles.
This is a bit of a break here for Morse, because when this ball comes out, watch, 2 Santa Fe players have a chance. This could have been a scoop and score if they're not careful. Very smart play by Luca Torti falling on it, but Morse is lucky this wasn't 6 points going back the other way.
And Chase Levesque was in a position to perhaps pick it up and at least pick up a lot of field position. So Morse takes it into Santa Fe Christian territory, but is turned away by a stout Eagles defense. And so Santa Fe Christian will have their second offensive possession once again with good field position.
And Hogan's under center now.
A little triple option look and a carry.
Pittman, the ball carrier.
There's minimal gain as we check in down on the field with Emily.
2nd down and 10 down.
Hey guys, so I just wanted to talk to you about that last play right there. You know, head coach was over on the 25 pretty much, kind of watching by himself, but the entire team was on the sidelines just cheering their guys on. The crowd was into it. It seemed like that was a big momentum boost over here for Santa Fe Christian.
You think about the types of plays that impact a game. There is a reverse. And Morse all over that defensively. Jack Winters unable to get going so far in the rushing game. And you've seen a lot of the same guys making plays. That's Sablin, who we've seen carry the ball a couple times on offense already.
Yeah, who's got the ball, but great pursuit by Morse. They were not fooled by the hiding of the football there that you saw from Kian Hogan. And a great play by Sablin, like you said, once again, Austin. And now here's another 3rd and long for Santa Fe Christian. They went 3 and out their first drive. What are they going to do here on a 3rd and looks like about 13 coming up?
So an incomplete pass on 3rd and 11 with Grupner in there at quarterback.
And he's back there once again.
Clock stops with 4:13 to go as Santa Fe Christian spends its first timeout. We'll step aside. 3rd down and long for Santa Fe Christian. Coming up on the other side.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com. From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health.
I'm Erica Cardenas, and on the next episode of Your Health, we're talking dental hygiene. We'll get expert advice on your dental health.
Plus, learn how Permadontics is helping patients get their smiles back. Watch Your Health Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday only on YurView. Brought to you by Permadontics. Request your free consultation at permadontics.com. You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Back at Torrey Pines High School, Santa Fe and Morse Christian scoreless with just more than 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. And out of the timeout, 3rd down and 13. Little trick play. Hartung wanting to throw. Got a man open downfield. It's caught inside the 20. Chase Levesque.
Well, we saw Morse pulling something out of the bag of tricks on the opening kickoff, but how about Jack Hartung, who's officially listed as a wide receiver? Look at this pass downfield, right on the money to an open Chase Levesque inside the 15, and Santa Fe Christian has the first real threat of this game with a 1st and 10 at the 14. That's also their first down of the game, too, Austin.
And Levesque's first catch of the year, almost exclusively a defensive player. But he gets a chance to make a big play in the passing game here. Santa Fe Christian back to the ground for a pickup of 2. And the Eagles now wanting to take advantage of a scoring opportunity here in the red zone.
And they might come few and far between tonight between these two teams. We've already seen played 8 minutes here in this ball game. We're going to see this clock continue to run. So scoring opportunities are going to be at a premium tonight. You want to put 7 on the board here if you're Santa Fe.
Well, option look and a handoff. The ball's loose. It goes into the end zone. A scramble. Santa Fe Christian says they recovered it, and they did. The Eagles have a touchdown after the fumble recovery. Gavin Guldseth recovers the fumble, and the offensive lineman gets a touchdown.
Gavin on the spot. We have an injured player. Looks like he was the guy who carried the football for Santa Fe, but watch the hit. Morse almost had that turnover that they needed. His knee was not down, but how about this, the wrestling match in the end zone, and Gavin Guldseth, who picks up his 2nd fumble recovery of the season, and what a time to do it in order to put Santa Fe on the board in this playoff game.
A friendly bounce for Santa Fe Christian. The Eagles used the big passing play to Levesque on 3rd and 14. And then they capitalize. Guldseth with the fumble recovery in the end zone. And it's Santa Fe Christian that jumps in front.
Well, it was the big play off the trick play on a key 3rd down. And then the fortuitous bounce on the fumble recovery. And Santa Fe Christian strikes first, just what the doctor ordered. They haven't scored any points in 3 weeks because they had to bye. They got shut out in their rivalry game against Bishops. But now here they're on the board, 7-0 first here at Torrey Pines.
Santa Fe Christian about 5 miles away from Torrey Pines, so a short drive for their fans to try to cheer them on. John Wallace excited with the way his team has started this game. A key defensive stop with Morse putting a nice drive together. And then the fumble recovery in the end zone by Guldseth, alertly downfield and quickly jumping on it. A 7-0 lead for the Eagles.
Got it. That's a live ball.
Loose down inside the 5-yard line. Morse retreats to pick it up, and they're going to start from inside their own 10. Darian Patterson-Williams had no chance to make anything of the return.
Well, very fortunate to jump back on top. It looked like it hit a pebble, like if it was a grounder in baseball. It got away from him. You got to fall on top of it. But again, not very good field position for Morse. They were able to move the ball pretty well on that first possession before they fumbled it away on the 4th down. And let's see, what do you do in the state playoff game with all the pressure? You're down 7-0. What do you do to answer if you're head coach Tracy McNair's team? Let's see what they decide to pull out of their pocket on first down.
Martinez and Hicks in the backfield. This is Hicks spinning off a defender, driving his way out to the 15-yard line. Nice start, and you see why Hicks has put up such big numbers the last couple of weeks. He is an aggressive runner.
Yeah, and so hard to bring down. If you look at his frame, Jacob Hicks, 5'11", 185 pounds, just a junior. And it's all in his lower body, too, from the hips down. So you can't arm tackle this guy around down low. You have to get some gang tackling up in there. If he can get to the outside, watch out, because he could put on a show tonight if Santa Fe Christian's not careful on defense.
A big shift from that Morse offensive line. Martinez able to get to the edge, ushered out of bounds, but not before a first down run out beyond the 25-yard line.
No, for all the discussion around Jacob Hicks, let's give Martinez some credit here, because he's a pretty strong runner himself. Kind of fumbled the snap a little bit here, able to recover, and he got around the outside. So Morse has a little bit of a speed advantage. You see the big hit at the end of the play, but Morse will take it to get that first down and get out from the shadow of their own goalpost.
Winters delivering a shot there on the run by Martinez. Francisco Martinez, a senior, leads the team in tackles, but with the injury to Michael Cunningham, thrust into a larger role on this offense, and he has thrived. There's Hicks making a cut to the outside. So tough to get him on the ground. Another nice first down gain for Morse out to the 33.
Boy, he was so close to breaking that, wasn't he, Austin? If he could have gotten outside, great job on the outside. You see how the hole opens up, and they're pulling two guys plus a couple of fullbacks, and a great play on that tackle right there by Matthew Sanford, number 4 for Santa Fe Christian, right on the spot, able to trip up Jacob Hicks. Otherwise, that could have been a long gainer for Morse.
Just the 11th tackle of the year for Sanford. Sophomore who sees action at wide receiver and free safety. Good penetration that time. A flag comes in behind the play. Hicks was taken down by Christian Haynes.
That's a hold on Morse, so that's going to back him up 10 yards. Let's see if we can see what happened right there. Looks like it might be on the outside. Number 8, Deron Yarbrough, the tight end, had a hold of one of Santa Fe's defenders there, and that's a 10-yard penalty. That's going to back you up quite a bit there on that first down. Again, we talked about how critical penalties are at this point. And that, now you're going to have to go an extra 10 yards here with 1:28 to go in the first quarter. So do you continue doing what you're doing for if you're Morse? So far, the run's been working fairly well for him.
Ball backs up to the 22. Hicks going to put it in the air, and that one too high for Sablin.
Yeah, Jacob Hicks, not exactly known as a thrower, obviously. Only 6 of 11 coming in on the year for 87 yards. Does have 1 touchdown pass to his credit. But it's kind of one of those things where you want to show the opponent that you're willing to do that on the outside. Obviously, he airmailed the receiver on that one, but I wonder if they're not going to come back to that a little bit later if Santa Fe Christian decides to cheat. Now he lines up on the outside.
Normally when they've thrown it, it's been Johnny Mosty, the 5'7" freshman. This will be his first snap. Mosty escaping pressure and then puts the ball on the ground, and Santa Fe Christian has it. Another takeaway from this Eagles defense.
Critical mistake by Mosty is it looked like he had an open lane to run. Everyone ran around him. He could have run for it, and then the ball just slipped out of his hands. And now Santa Fe Christian has a short field on the 25-yard line, and they can go up 2 scores here in this ballgame, and that could be a very difficult margin for Morse to make up.
Luca Torti recovered the fumble as we spend a moment down on the field with Emily.
Thanks, guys. You know, I'm down here on the Santa Fe Christian sideline. The team is super hyped up. We saw number 33 get injured. The trainers weren't able to tell me anything on him. He is getting worked on right now. It looks like his ankle is getting worked on. I talked to Coach Roberts about just kind of their dominating first quarter here. He said, you know what, we just focused on what we were practicing, and we want to just do that all game today.
So far, they've done a pretty good job. Another ball handling error there. This time it's Grupner, the Santa Fe Christian quarterback. Hogan alertly covering that up and preserving Santa Fe Christian's scoring opportunity. Final minute of this first quarter. Only touchdown so far scored by an offensive lineman, Gavin Guldseth. A powerful run there. Staying up is Jack Winters, and he's going to go all the way in for the touchdown.
What a run by Winters.
Actually, it was Colton Lehberg, the 5'4" sophomore. Rarely sees time in the backfield, but he makes the most of it. They motion Winters, and it's Lehberg that keeps his legs driving and goes in for the score.
We're so used to seeing Winters, but look at that run by Colton Lehberg. You talk about a sophomore making the play and breaking a couple tackles, getting to the outside. The action all followed Winters, and Lehberg, only 5'4", gets his first touchdown of the year.
So two unlikely stars for Santa Fe Christian here in the opening quarter. Guldseth and Lehberg are the players that have scored touchdowns, and a Santa Fe Christian player down behind the play.
Yeah, we see the trainers out for Santa Fe Christian, and it looks to be number 74, Sam Thomas, a 5'10", 204-pound junior. Through one of the key blocks out there, and he'll be helped out off the field. Certainly a contributor to that key play for Santa Fe Christian, who are suddenly up 13-0 here with just 22 seconds to go in this first quarter. And now if you're Morse, you got to think, how can this first quarter have gone like this when we've dominated on the running game so far, but we fumbled the ball away both times that we've had it, including giving Santa Fe Christian a short field.
Ian Austin on for the PAT. It is up and through. 22 seconds to go in the first quarter. Santa Fe Christian, 2 takeaways, 14 points off those takeaways. 14-0 Eagles. And you never know what players are going to step up in moments like this. Colton Lehberg, 1 carry for -3 yards the entire season. And here in the playoffs, his first touch is a touchdown.
Well, as they say, Austin, you know, legends are made in the month of November in high school football. And Colton Lehberg will always have that as his first touchdown of his career at Santa Fe Christian. But let's give credit to him on the run. He just stayed on his feet, stays low to the ground. He's 5'4", so he's not all that high off the ground anyway. And he gives Santa Fe Christian this 14-0 lead. Now, if you're Morse and you're going to get the ball back here, obviously the key, hold on to the football and try and get something going on this running game. They had something going with both Hicks and Martinez, but can they keep it going here and try and have this lead?
Kickoff bounding along the ground, returned by Hicks. An ankle tackle away from potentially a big return, and Morse will have its best starting field position tonight with the ball at the 32.
Got a feeling that we're going to see a big run broken out by Hicks here at some point. It looks like he's just one ankle tackle away on more than a few occasions here in this first quarter. With a runner that explosive, you can only keep him bottled up so much.
Dynamic when he gets a chance in the open field. Hicks going to hand it off to Sablin. Able to stay on his feet, and he's on his way to the end zone. Hartung giving chase. Can he get there? He does. From behind, he gets Sablin inside the 10-yard line.
Well, I just got done talking about Jacob Hicks breaking one, and then watch Kalen Sablin here get through. He actually switches hands with the ball as he stopped at the 40. Look at that. That's a dangerous play. He could have lost it again, but then he takes off down the sideline, and we're going to have a 1st and goal here for Morse when we start the second quarter.
Well, who knows how this possession will end up. That play by Hartung to stay with it and track down Sablin from behind could loom large. A great start for Santa Fe Christian. They're up 14-0 after 1.
right connection can open a world of curiosity for your child. With Cox, families that have a K-12 student and receive government assistance could qualify for low-cost home internet with Wi-Fi. That means more learning and more achieving. Qualify now. It's time to connect with Cox.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health.
I'm Erica Cardenas, and on the next episode of Your Health, we're talking dental hygiene. We'll get expert advice on your dental health.
Plus, learn how Permadontics is helping patients get their smiles back. Watch Your Health Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday only on YurView. Brought to you by Permadontics. Request your free consultation at permadontics.com.
Explore the Southwest lifestyle, the culture, the music, the food, y más. Join hosts J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez on Su Vida.
Let's face it, most roadside attractions are a bust.
Yeah, you got the world's biggest ball of string and the world's biggest stump.
Is that a thing?
It is, actually.
Well, not this time. We're at the darndest place you'll ever visit.
On the next,
Su Vida.
Watch Su Vida Sunday and Monday night only on YurView and YurView.com.
A 14-0 lead for Santa Fe Christian as we start the second quarter here from Torrey Pines. But Morse in position to potentially work its way onto the scoreboard for the first time after a long run by Colin Sablin, just 30 yards rushing a week ago. That big carry went for more than 30, and he's got Morse inside the 10 for first and goal.
Well, 2 possessions, 2 fumbles that have both resulted in Santa Fe Christian touchdowns for Morse on the day. This time they're actually holding on to the ball. And if you're going to try and have that lead, now's the time to do it. Off of a big run, they got a first and goal.
Direct snap, Hicks moving the pile forward down to about the 4.
And now you see Morse working that goal line formation with double tight ends, and Morse almost a single back there with 1 fullback ahead of him. Looks like he's might be a little limping around a little bit as he returns back to the huddle, but this is just straight power running, Austin.
Morse a chance to score as we check in down on the field with Emily.
Thanks, guys. You know, for Santa Fe Christian here, number 74, Sam Thomas, we saw him get injured. Number 56, the senior, Gavin Guldseth, was the answer for the coaches here. We see him out on the field right now. Sam Thomas is moving around on the sideline with a little bit of a limp, so we'll keep an eye on him tonight.
All right, Emily, that carry once again by Hicks. There was no signal initially. Santa Fe Christian thought he was down. Hicks kept going, and the officials come together and eventually rule it a touchdown.
Well, I want to take a look at this again because it looked like Hicks was down. Did he fall down on top of a Santa Fe player? They can't even believe it. It's Cade Ellis, number 6, who kind of gestured to the officials like, are you kidding me? How could he have not been down? Let's take a look.
Jacob Hicks, the quarterback, scoring from 3 yards out, extra point attempt.
Can't see his knees from here. Maybe his knees did stay off the turf. So if that's the case, good job by the officials keeping an eye on it. Here's the conversion.
Gonna go for 2. That very close to the goal line for Martinez, and they will rule him short of the goal line. So the 2-point conversion fails. Morse gets the touchdown run from Hicks, and it's 14-6.
Well, like we said, if you're going to answer after that bad start, down 14-0, this is one way to do it. You get the long play, the long touchdown run by, or the long run rather by Sablin. Here's a look at the 2-point conversion. Oh no, this is the touchdown, excuse me. Let's see if we got a better look at his knee. His left knee looks like it's on top of a Santa Fe Christian player there, and he just stays out. I couldn't see, or actually on top of one of his own players. Might have been on that play. So, hey, heads up play by Jacob Hicks, and he gets his first touchdown of the night, his 7th in the last 3 games. And we got a ball game again.
One of the messages that coaches always preach to their players is that you play through the whistle. And there was no whistle right there. Credit Hicks for the good play. Ball loose at the 30-yard line. A little squib kick from Morse. And it is covered at the 30.
I don't know if they intended to do that, but it almost had the desired effect. That was Jeff Marshall recovering the kickoff for Santa Fe Christian.
Santa Fe Christian touchdowns on their last 2 drives. This time the Eagles will start from the 30. Kian Hogan back in there at quarterback, and an early start for some of the Eagles players. It will cost them 5.
Seen a fair amount of penalties in this game. You know, again, like we said earlier, when you're running this sort of option offense, almost like you would see in an Army-Navy game, it all comes down to execution. One of those things is making sure you're on the same page on the snap count. You know that these guys want to get off the ball quickly to get to their blocks, but be mindful of when the snap count is, and if something changes, that could result in a 5-yard penalty.
Hogan with a late give, the penalty yardage back up to the 30-yard line for Lehberg, who is becoming a much bigger factor offensively. Lehberg taking out one of his own linemen downfield.
This looks like one of those classic double wing option formations that we see as Lehberg looks to be shaken up on the play.
So Lehberg will head to the sideline. Hogan trying to pick his way upfield, gets to about the 35 and is driven back by a host of Morse defenders.
Well, this is the first time since the opening kickoff that Santa Fe Christian has not gotten the ball by means of a turnover. So can they put together a long drive here? Obviously on their first possession they got the long pass play. We're able to cash in on that one. Short field on the second one to get the second score, but now here's a big 3rd and 10.
Eagles need to take it up to the 40 on 3rd down and 5. And the running play will come up just short, a yard, maybe a little bit less.
And this is a big stop for Morse, assuming that Santa Fe Christian doesn't decide to go for it here. I haven't seen the punt team come out yet. 4th and 1, when you're running this kind of an option offense, why not? We're going to get it 3. If all we have to do is get 36 inches.
Well, these are the types of situations where you'd always see Navy, Air Force, the academies often go for it on 4th down and short. Those option offenses that we see in college.
And the percentages are in their favor too. Sorry, Austin.
Motion across the formation draws Morse into the neutral zone. Romeo Gann, the second leading tackler, came across the ball, and it's a free 5 yards for Santa Fe Christian and an Eagles first down.
That's a critical mistake right there on 4th and 1. And of course, like we said, you want to get off the ball, but their timing was a little bit off on because they're timing the motion man going behind the quarterback, as you saw in that replay before. Good job by Santa Fe Christian in mixing it up, and they get a free first down out of it.
Drive continues from the 45. Grupner will keep it himself and surge toward midfield.
Grupner up to about the midfield line.
Grupner, a broken wrist in the early part of the season. See a lot of action the last couple of games, but not a ton of reason to be confident. Quarterback in back-to-back losses for Santa Fe Christian. Started the year 6-2. Back-to-back losses to Orange Glen and Bishops in the finale. And a win tonight, they might get another shot at Bishops in the 3rd round of the playoffs. 2nd down and 4. This time Grupner gives it, and that should be enough for an Eagles first down.
Yeah, and Bishops right now actually playing on a neutral site themselves at Mira Mesa against Poway tonight. Winner plays, obviously, the winner of this game here.
Santa Fe Christian touchdowns on their last 2 drives. Morse scored for the first time the last time they touched it. So 14-6 as we're under 9 minutes to go in the first half. A toss to the near side, and that is played really well by Brige White. Athletic junior defensive end.
29 tackles and a fumble recovery this year for Brige. He's a big kid, 6'3", 240 pounds. Once he gets your paws on you, they are not going to. You're not going to get away from him all that easily for Morse. He's got to keep honest on the outside. And actually, that was a good job by him of staying true to the gap on the outside and making the play outside the numbers.
Hogan motions. Here is a run by Winters. No gain, tackled there by Francisco Martinez.
Talk about Morse, they're doing a good job of staying home. This is a little toss left, but then they cut back right. And we see how active Francisco Martinez is out there on defense as well. How about the Iron Men that are out here for both of these squads in this game? A lot of kids playing both ways. Martinez, obviously one of them. Hicks as well for Morse out there on defense.
Coach is demanding a lot of the guys out there tonight. Inside run, moves the ball down close to the 38. That would make it 4th down and about 3. Another play made by Romeo Gann, trying to atone for his mistake, jumping off sides. And once again, Santa Fe Christian will keep the offense out there. Morse gave them a 1st down by jumping off sides the last time it was 4th and short.
Got a little bit longer distance to go this time, 4th and 3, although another penalty would give them a 1st down. But Morse wants to get the ball back here. Critical play. They almost jumped off again.
And perhaps they did. Santa Fe Christian sideline clapping, perhaps talking the near sideline judge into a penalty.
Offsides. Called against the Tigers.
Yeah, so another neutral zone infraction. So twice now in this drive, Santa Fe Christian has gotten a free 1st down. Now you see the head bob. I'm surprised they didn't call that. Usually at various different levels of football, when you see the quarterback do the head bob, they'll call him for a false start. Not here, though.
Mike Malaulu was the player that jumped into the neutral zone. Grupner going to throw. Wide open man down the middle. It's Hogan, and he is in for the touchdown.
Well, we don't see that very often from either of these teams in terms of going to the air, but Hogan showing his receiving chops on this one. Take a look at this catch. Wide open, great action. Splits the defense on the seam route, and the perfect throw by Grupner. This is like taking candy from a baby right here. Just get your way into the end zone, son.
Grupner's ball right on the money. His 1st touchdown pass of the season. Ian Austin adds the PAT. 3 consecutive touchdown drives. Santa Fe Christian in control here in the 1st half against Morse.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
The right connection can open a world of curiosity for your child. With Cox, families that have a K-12 student and receive government assistance could qualify for low-cost home internet with Wi-Fi. That means more learning and more achieving. Qualify now. It's time to connect with Cox.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Kian Hogan's 1st catch of the season is a touchdown from sophomore quarterback Thomas Grupner, and Santa Fe Christian extends back to a 2-score lead, now 21-6, largest lead of the game for the Eagles. And they have been the more efficient, mistake-free team so far in this game. Hicks on the return, spinning away from a defender, and he takes it up to the 36-yard line. So solid return by Hicks. Morse scored on their last drive, and they need to sustain that offensive momentum.
Got about 5.5 minutes to go here before halftime. Now, by the way, that clock is unofficial because there are some clock problems at the stadium right now. So the best we can give you right there is an estimate. But if you're Morse, now's the time once again. You have to answer.
Touchdown run by Hicks on that last possession.
And they had that long run by Sablin. So let's see if they can come up with another long one here with about 5.5 minutes to go. There you see the shifting again.
This is Hicks. Good penetration by Santa Fe Christian's defensive line, and he swarmed 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, that's the first time we've seen that really good penetration by Santa Fe Christian. Give credit to Gavin Guldseth, number 56. He's already scored a touchdown. Now he comes up with the tackle for a loss here on Hicks. That's how you tackle a guy like that. Grab him up high, pull him back.
Matthew North forced it back inside. North has been a wrecking ball defensively. 20 tackles for loss this season to go along with 7.5 sacks. Hicks hit as he let it go, had an open man, but overshot him. Daniel Thornton was the player that Hicks was targeting, and it'll be 3rd down and long.
And it looks like Hicks also took a shot at the very end of that. Watch coming off the corner for Santa Fe Christian. That's number 34, Chase Levesque, who's having a very active game, able to force the throw. Looked like that forced Hicks to kind of force that ball a little sooner than he wanted to, and he overshot it.
Especially for a player who's not as comfortable putting the ball in the air. So here is Johnny Mosti, freshman quarterback. Just his 2nd snap, he fumbled, leading to one of the Santa Fe Christian scores the only other time he's out there. Levesque pressuring, Mosti throws complete. Hicks makes the catch, gets away from one defender, barrels through another, and will have a 1st down in Santa Fe Christian territory. A terrific individual effort by Hicks. He made all of that happen.
Only 7 receptions on the year, or rather this is his 7th reception on the year. Spins out of 1 tackle, stiff arms 1 man, runs this guy over right here. That's why you throw the ball out to a great athlete like Hicks, and he gets a critical 3rd down conversion for Morse to keep the drive alive.
Artung, Grupner, Sanford unable to get Hicks to the ground. 1st down at the Santa Fe 48. Here's Daniel Thornton on the run, barreling his way down inside the 25-yard line before Hogan gets him on the ground.
Now we've seen guys other than Hicks have big plays on the ground, and here's Thornton getting a chance. Watch, all the defense keys on Hicks, and Thornton able to take the quick handoff inside, run through a couple of tackles, and now Morse is threatening once again.
A huge 3rd down conversion by Morse. The catch and run by Hicks.
Boy,
allowed
they
the
needed
drive
that
to
too.
continue. Absolutely. Go back to that counter run that's been successful to Sablin. This time a couple defenders in the hole.
No gain on the play.
And that looks like for Santa Fe Christian, that's Chase Levesque, who's holding his right elbow there.
And Christian Haynes all
He's not coming out. I was about to say rub some dirt on it, but they're playing on turf, so you can't do that.
Once again, Hicks looking for the edge. Cunningham out there as a lead blocker. Santa Fe able to string it out. Jack Winters ultimately cuts down Hicks.
Sorry, guys. So this is a great play by Jack Winters. Watch the vision, move to your left, shed the block, tackle him low, and get him to the ground. That is textbook tackling by Jack Winters. Great job by the senior.
Fantastic stuff that you'd expect to see from a senior.
And he did a good job of setting the edge that time, which is something you have to do with an explosive runner like Hicks. So far, the outside runs haven't really been working for Hicks. It's only been working on the inside and if he hands off. Now he's out of the game, though.
3rd down and 8. Martinez spins his way down near the 1st down. Didn't give him a favorable mark. They'll put him down at the 14. That'll be 4th down and short.
Now let's see if his knee was down or his elbow was down. That's right about there inside the 15-yard line. So it's going to be a big key 4th down. Obviously, Morse eschews the field goal. So They're here playing for 6, and they got a big 4th and 1 coming up to try and sustain this drive and stay in this game down 2 scores.
Morse will get the second half kickoff, so if you can convert, get a touchdown here, potentially a chance to tie the game or take the lead if you get 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions.
And Hicks is not out there. Now we have a flag.
Delay of game is the call against Morse, a costly penalty.
Looked like they had some trouble trying to figure out which personnel they wanted to have out there. Brige White was heading out there. But they were a little slow getting into the huddle and getting on the ball. So now 4th and 1 becomes 4th and 6, and it's a whole different set of circumstances, especially when you're down 2 scores in a critical playoff game. I'm trying to look for Hicks, and I don't see him out there in the huddle.
Gave him a breather after one of the runs on this drive, so it's Martinez and Sablin that are in the backfield on 4th and 6. Sablin juggles the snap, and that play is going nowhere. A horde of Santa Fe Christian defenders led by Matthew North. Morse is turned away with a chance to score, and it stays a 21-6 lead for Santa Fe Christian.
I started day tripper tours around 33 years ago.
It's been about 25 years when I first heard about them, and I gave it a try, and I liked it, and I've been doing it ever since.
Oh, the tour guides and the bus drivers are top notch.
I like that they plan for us. We don't have to think about what we're going to do. We don't have to worry about parking. We don't have to worry about the travel.
We aren't a bus that just takes you from point A to point B. We are a full package, and we make sure that our tours hit what we call the 3 E's. They need to be engaging, educational, and entertaining.
And I found out there's a whole world of visiting areas, places to see in Los Angeles.
It seems like every place we go, it's just, we find something new, different people. We just love it.
He stopped by the Santa Fe Christian defense, keeps it a 21-6 game as we head toward halftime here on the YurView game, brought to you by Carl's Jr. So the Eagles offense back out there. I'm sure content to see the remaining time tick off this clock and go to the locker room up 21-6.
Well, they basically forced 3 turnovers on Morse in this first half from 2 fumbles, and then we just saw the turnover on downs. Curious on that 3rd and 4th down why Jacob Hicks was not out there. He is back out there on defense. But like you said, Austin, if I'm Santa Fe Christian, I'm not doing anything too risky here with under 90 seconds, we think, to go here before halftime and up 2 scores. You already dodged 1 bullet.
Grupner, a touchdown pass on Santa Fe Christian's last possession. This time forced to keep it and driven back at the 29-yard line. This week on YurView High School's recruiting podcast, Over the Middle, we wrap up the season's Over the Middle with a look at college football's silly season and the impacts it will have on the SEC recruiting trail. Jeremy is joined by Richard Davenport of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette and WholeHogSports.com to talk about the opening at Arkansas and what the Hogs must do to be relevant again. All that and more on this week's episode of the Over the Middle podcast.
Boy, it really says something for high school football out in Southern California when you got SEC schools out here recruiting kids from SoCal. Not too bad.
If you want to be relevant in college football, you better be looking at California to find some of the best players in the country. Hogan securing the football on what could be the final play of the first half, depending on that clock.
Surprised I wouldn't take. I'd probably take a timeout here if I'm Morse and maybe try and force them to punt. You never know. Oh, they gave him a first down. Okay, never mind on that. So that'll more than likely take us to halftime. Remember, that clock is still unofficial because the clock in the stadium is malfunctioning. Oh, the clock is right now? Okay, so, and that will take us to halftime then here at Torrey Pines.
A great end of the second quarter for Santa Fe Christian. They turn Morse away with a scoring chance, and they're able to run out the remaining time on the clock. And John Wallace's team heading to the break up 21-6. The Santa Fe Christian coach standing by with Emily Harlan.
Their kind of football. Now you know that. Sorry. Good. Coach, you told me coming into this game, your message to your team was discipline and playing their kind of football. How has your group done that through the first half?
They're doing great. They're playing a great Morse team. Our kids are fighting for every inch. They're hanging in there. And what a great high school football team. Morse is playing great. We're playing great. This is what you want out of high school football. It's a great thing.
What does your team have to do to close this one out and get the win tonight?
Keep fighting, right? Like, both teams don't have a lot of guys. It's going to come down to a gut check and who wants it more. What more could you want out of a football game?
Coach, thanks for the time. Good luck the rest of the way.
You're welcome.
All right, Emily, thank you very much. 21-6, Santa Fe Christian up at the half. You're watching YurView Football, brought to you by Carl's Jr.
There's something in the way you move.
Change it up, okay? Catch him off guard. Get in the trench. Do what you do.
To the 30, to the 20.
Battling his way to the end zone. Nobody can stop him.
Down the sideline. Nobody's going to catch him.
You hungry for the Big Carl and those juicy double patties? Get yours today at Carl's Jr.
I'm Haley Stasiak with your Game Time Minute, presented by Carl's Jr. You hungry for the Big Carl and those juicy double patties? Get yours today at Carl's Jr. In the San Diego section Open Division, number 2 Cathedral Catholic takes on number 3 Carlsbad. The Dons and the Lancers matched up in the same positioning last season in the Open Division. Cathedral Catholic shut out Carlsbad 35-0 and went on to win the title. In Division 2, Morse matches up with Santa Fe Christian. Keep an eye on the Tigers' backfield and running backs Michael Cunningham and Jacob Hicks. The two combined for 2,028 yards and 27 touchdowns. As the 4 seed, the Eagles got a bye last week, so they're coming off some rest ahead of this big matchup with the Tigers. That's what we've got for your Game Time Minute. Our featured game of the week is number 3 Mission Hills versus number 6 La Costa Canyon in Division I action. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. And don't forget to subscribe.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health.
I'm Erica Cardenas, and on the next episode of Your Health, we're talking dental hygiene. We'll get expert advice on your dental health.
Plus, learn how Permadontics is helping patients get their smiles back. Watch Your Health Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday only on YurView. Brought to you by Permadontics. Request your free consultation at permadontics.com.
Come on in and discover the new Cox Solutions store. Experience a whole new level of in-home comfort. It's all right here at the Cox Solutions store. Discover, learn, and experience more.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
My name is Laura Schneider. I'm a neurosurgeon at Barrow Neurological Institute. I'm also the director of neurotrauma at Barrow Neurological Institute. My day-to-day is seeing patients both in the ER and in clinic, and then 2 to 3 days a week I'll also perform surgeries. I'm involved in seeing patients who come in with concussions, who also come in with head and cervical spine injuries. Yeah, so usually patients with a concussion have this loss of consciousness, and then they might not remember something around the time when they lost consciousness. But patients who may start to feel more tired, or they start talking funny, they may have some slurred speech, or if they're having nausea or vomiting, those are the patients that we want to come in the emergency room to make sure there's not something else going on. Second impact syndrome is a terminology for athletes specifically, and for concussion patients in general, where they've had some sort of head trauma. So maybe they hit their head while they were doing a tackle in football, or someone's fallen off their bike and hit their head. We really try to keep those patients away from playing, usually in the first couple of weeks, just because if they suffer another head trauma, they can have worse consequences the second time around. So your brain has its own ways of regulating the amount of fluid that's in it, the amount of nutrients going to the neurons in your brain itself. So that is disrupted by any sort of head injury. But usually it self-corrects over time. But if you have a second injury in too short of a time period, it doesn't really get the chance to catch up, and all those auto-regulation mechanisms can't fully kick in. So when patients have two head injuries too close together, that's when often they will start getting nausea and vomiting and some of those red flags sooner than they would for a normal head injury. I was a student athlete. I think it's really important. I think it's really a wonderful thing to be a student athlete and work hard, push yourself hard, play hard, but take care of yourself. You need your brain for the long term and for the rest of your life as well. The brain is a really amazing structure. It's really important for who we are. So injury to that is really devastating for a person, and so I love to help treat patients who have those types of injuries to get them back on their feet. I think Barrow Neurological Institute really pushes advancements in both research as well as clinical care. So I'm really happy that I did my training there and that I've been able to stay on as faculty. I encourage athletes as well as their parents to go to barrowneuro.org/concussion discussion.
Back at Torrey Pines High School, second round of the Division II playoffs. Santa Fe Christian on top of Morse 21-6. On the other side of the break, first half highlights. Right now, it's the Eagles with a 2-touchdown lead.
It's your first time away from your new house, but you're not worried about that. You're thinking about how well he's handled moving to a new neighborhood.
Hey, Moms, watch this.
You're thinking he's not our shy little guy anymore. You're thinking, where did he learn that? You're not worried about if everything's okay back at your new house, because you have Cox Home Life. Stay close to the moments that matter. Cox Home Life Security will take care of the rest.
Change it up, okay? Catch him off guard. Get in the trench. Do what you do. To the 30, to the 20. Battling his way to the end zone. Nobody can stop him. Intercepted down the sideline. Nobody's going to catch him.
You hungry for the Big Carl and those juicy double patties? Get yours today at Carl's Jr.
Where do you want to go? An epic beach vacation? A road trip through the American heartland? Or somewhere fun off the beaten path? You'll find those and much more on Destination San Diego. It's the best at bringing you the hottest shows. But Broadway San Diego also supports arts education, showing the next generation how to make the arts part of their everyday lives. Join Destination San Diego with Brittany Pierce and uncover your own destination at Broadway San Diego. Sundays at 6:30, Wednesdays at 8 on YurView.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health.
I'm Erica Cardenas, and on the next episode of Your Health, we're talking dental hygiene. We'll get expert advice on your dental health.
Plus, learn how Permadontics is helping patients get their smiles back. Watch Your Health Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday only on YurView. Brought to you by Permadontics. Request your free consultation at permadontics.com. You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Halftime here at Torrey Pines, 21-6, Santa Fe Christian on top in the YurView Game of the Week, brought to you by Carl's Jr., Austin Lyon, Jeff Sharon. We came on the air talking about two teams that wanted to run the football offensively, but it's been a series of big plays, some on the ground, some through the air, that have led to where we are right now.
Yeah, we weren't expecting that, although we were expecting quite a bit of, we were expecting Santa Fe Christian to actually turn the ball over, and so far they almost had their own turnover that resulted in their first touchdown of the game, a fumble recovery to go up early, and then check out the touchdown run here by Lehberg, the sophomore, 5'4", getting into the end zone.
Only one carry all season until that touch, which went for a touchdown. Morse answers with this impressive run by Jacob Hicks.
Yeah, look at Hicks. We thought his knee was down. It was not. He's been very impressive in this half so far, but it's been the mistakes for Morse that have cost them in this ballgame, and that's why they're down 2 scores. That's their only score so far.
2 offside penalties on this drive against Morse led to Thomas Grupner having a chance to find Kian. Hogan, his first catch of the year is a touchdown. So Santa Fe Christian scoring in some unlikely ways to get to this 21-6 lead.
Well, like we said earlier, legends are made in November. We see guys making plays who don't normally make plays, and that's been the story for Santa Fe Christian, up 2 scores here at the break.
21-6, Morse will have the ball to start the third quarter when you come back.
So one key component that makes the Waste Management Phoenix Open so successful is Cox Business. Over 700,000 people are going to come enjoy TPC Scottsdale, from digital TV to digital phones to security, and most importantly, that free Wi-Fi all over this property. We simply couldn't do it without a partner like Cox Business. We're grateful, we're thankful, it's a hole-in-one.
Explore the Southwest lifestyle, the culture, the music, the food, y más. Join hosts J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez on Su Vida.
When it comes to Mexican cuisine, the taco may be the most popular.
Yes, but the tamale, actually pronounced tamal, is the most loved. We're at a Mexican restaurant where this Mexican tradition is the star of the show.
This week on Su Vida.
Watch Su Vida Sunday and Monday night only on YurView and YurView.com.
I'm Haley Stasiak with your Game Time Minute, presented by Carl's Jr. You hungry for the big Carl and those juicy double patties? Get yours today at Carl's Jr. In the San Diego section Open Division, number 2 Cathedral Catholic takes on number 3 Carlsbad. The Dons and the Lancers matched up in the same positioning last season in the Open Division. Cathedral Catholic shut out Carlsbad 35-0 and went on to win the title. In Division 2, Morse matches up with Santa Fe Christian. Keep an eye on the Tigers' backfield in running backs Michael Cunningham and Jacob Hicks. The two combined for 2,028 yards and 27 touchdowns. As the 4 seed, the Eagles got a bye last week, so they're coming off some rest ahead of this big matchup with the Tigers. That's what we've got for your Game Time Minute. Our featured game of the week is number 3 Mission Hills versus number 6 La Costa Canyon in Division I action. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. And don't forget to subscribe.
15-point lead for Santa Fe Christian. Eagles try to advance to the third round of the Division II playoffs. Second half will start right after this short timeout.
For great ideas for health, beauty, and your home, watch YurView Marketplace, weekdays from 2:30 to 4 p.m. here on YurView. On YurView Marketplace, you'll receive useful tips from beauty and celebrity experts. Be introduced to invigorating health ideas and products, and get a peek at the latest innovative home appliances and services that will save you time and enrich your life. Tune in to YurView Marketplace, weekdays from 2:30 to 4 p.m. on YurView.
Explore the Southwest lifestyle, the culture, the music, the food, y más. Join hosts J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez on Su Vida.
Let's face it, most roadside attractions are a bust.
Yeah, you've got the world's biggest ball of string and the world's biggest stump.
Is that a thing?
It is, actually.
Well, not this time. We're at the darndest place you'll ever visit.
On the next
Su Vida.
Watch Su Vida Sunday and Monday night only on YurView and YurView.com. From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health.
I'm Erica Cardenas, and on the next episode of Your Health, we're talking dental hygiene. We'll get expert advice on your dental health.
Plus, learn how Permadontics is helping patients get their smiles back. Watch Your Health Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday only on YurView. Brought to you by Permadontics. Request your free consultation at permadontics.com.
The right connection can open a world of curiosity for your child. With Cox, families that have a K-12 student and receive government assistance could qualify for low-cost home internet with Wi-Fi. That means more learning and more achieving. Qualify now. It's time to connect with Cox.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Second round of the Division II playoffs. This is the YurView football brought to you by Carl's Jr. and Santa Fe Christian up on Morse right now, 21-6 as we get set to start the third quarter. Morse will have it first. What do you expect to see from the Tigers here in the early moments of the second half?
Well, offensively, I would expect to see more of the same. The offense has been working in terms of them being able to run the ball. That's their bread and butter between Hicks, Thornton, Savlin, and Martinez. They've just shot themselves in the foot with mistakes. A couple of fumbles, both of them have been cashed in by Santa Fe Christian, and that's where they stand right now. But the running game's been working. Just got to hold on to the football.
Morse ready to come out onto the field and begin the second half. If you're Santa Fe Christian coach John Wallace, you preach, as he told Emily Harlan in that first half, we've got to continue to do what we've done in practice to be ready for this game. You apply that in the second half, and they're likely going to be moving on.
Yeah, so far the turnover game has been working in their favor, just like we thought. But when you're up 2 scores, you always used to hear in hockey that a 2-goal lead was the most dangerous lead in hockey. A 2-score lead is the most dangerous lead in football, especially when Morse is getting the ball to start the second half. So if they go down and score, what do? Do you answer and put them back down, or could you let them back into the game? You have to keep the foot on the gas pedal if you're Santa Fe Christian.
Never understood that whole hockey adage.
It's just, it's weird what happens when you're down 2 scores, really in any sport, because you think the lead is safe, and it's really not. And as we've seen in this game so far, it feels like Morse is just a couple of key plays away from getting back into this. Like we said, the team that's beaten Morse tonight so far, more than Santa Fe Christian to me, has been Morse itself as we get ready to start the third quarter.
Winner of this one moves on to next week's third round matchup, and you thought it might be an easy time for Bishops, the top seed, but they've got a 7-point lead at the half, 30-23.
Yeah,
a 7-point lead for Bishops as we get set to start the third quarter. YurView football brought to you by our friends at Carl's Jr. And it's been an entertaining game so far. Lots of big plays between these teams to get to 27 total points.
Yeah, we've seen obviously the 2 turnovers. We've seen a touchdown pass, which is probably something that we would not have expected from either of these teams so far today. We've seen some big plays in the passing game really for both squads. But again, it's a 15-point game. It feels a lot closer than that the way Morse has been playing. Can they put together another drive like they did that got Hicks that touchdown that got them to within 1 score back in the second quarter?
Morse, a run-heavy team. Coach Tracy McNair believes in controlling the clock and winning with defense. And you don't have to abandon that strategy here despite being down 15.
Oh, no, not at all, because everything so far has been working. And actually, their defense has actually been playing pretty well. Aside from the key mistakes, we've seen them jump off sides on a couple of 4th downs. That also caught them, again, shooting themselves in the foot. And I think if you're Coach McNair, you're telling your guys at halftime, well, listen, we've made the mistakes. We know what the mistakes are. Guys, let's get it together. We're right there step for step with this team. We can beat them in this half if we concentrate on what we're doing.
Each team moving from Division III to Division II this season and trying to advance to the third round of the playoffs. See Morse have some issues on kick returns, trying to secure the football. Ian Austin once again puts it on the ground, and it is loose at the 25. Picked up there by Hicks, and able to get contained around the edge. And Hicks up near midfield, stays on his feet and goes into Santa Fe Christian territory. So Morse with his best starting field position of the night. The Tigers will be at the Santa Fe Christian 45.
Well, this is one way to get a spark going here to start the second half. Look at, again, we talked about the lower body strength. He's able to break through a couple tackles, a couple of key blocks, and now you give yourself a short field at the 45-yard line in plus territory. Looks like Hicks even lost one of his gloves back there. A piece of equipment came flying off. But, hey, here's as good a start as you can ask for Morse.
Based on how Hicks carried it there, he doesn't need the glove at all. Johnny Mosti starts the second half at quarterback. And a completion there to Brige White. Minimal gain. as we check in down on the sideline with Emily Harlan.
Thanks, guys. I spoke to Morse coach Rod Williams about what was discussed in that huddle at halftime. He said the main thing was just cutting down on the mistakes and really controlling those mental things. We saw a couple penalties that Morse took there with offsides. Another thing he mentioned of what it's going to take to kind of come out with a win tonight is just tighten things up, really focusing on those assignments on D and just making sure they converge when they have the play.
A little bit about what we talked about up here, Emily, and those 2 offsides penalties, very costly on Santa Fe Christian's last touchdown drive. Francisco Martinez carries the ball down inside the 40. It'll be 3rd down and short for the Tigers.
Interesting, too. And one little note also that Emily brought to us was that Tracy McNair, who is the head coach of Morse, he's coaching the team from the press box, as he normally does. So that's why we couldn't actually speak to him. But Tracy McNair in charge for Morse once again, a 1990 alumnus of Morse High School.
Had a phenomenal year a season ago and trying to win for the 2nd consecutive week in the postseason. 3rd down and 4. Direct snap to Hicks, and that play was a little bit off kilter right from the start. It'll cost the Tigers 5. That's the type of play that Emily is talking about that Morse has to cut down on here in the second half.
And what they did there is what they did earlier. They didn't get set on the shift before the snap. They tried to snap the ball a little bit too quickly. And you can see, watch the right side of the line. They're not set for 1 second. And that's an automatic flag every single time.
So from 3rd and manageable now to 3rd down and long, 3rd and 10. Hicks wants to put it up and gets drilled. That was Chase Levesque, who has been a terror off the edge rushing for Santa Fe Christian.
Yeah, Chase was all over the place, and this time he was able to tee up on Jacob Hicks, who looked like he might have had an open receiver, and Hicks looks to be shaken up a little bit as he got drilled right in the back. Watch, he's about to let it go, and Levesque is right there. That'll knock the wind out of you. And now it'll be 4th and long.
And Levesque unblocked as he has been on multiple times tonight. So a promising drive for Morse results in a penalty on 3rd down and then a sack. And Zachary Hess will come on to punt. High snap. Hess has to go all the way back to the 25. Still a chance to get it away. Not a great kick, but credit Hess, and he's going to get a heck of a bounce. That could have been a total disaster for Morse. Instead, the ball rolls down inside the 30.
This is an outstanding play by Zachary Hess, running back to get the bad snap. Obviously, the kicking game is a real struggle for Morse, has been all season, but you have to be resourceful. First of all, pick up the ball and don't make a mistake with it, and then just try and get the punt off, and then watch the bounce off the turf. And that's called making something out of nothing. All in all, not bad considering what could have happened if you're Morse, and now you're still giving Santa Fe Christian a long field. They got to go 70-plus yards here. So, boy, disaster averted if you're Morse, down 2 scores still.
Just the poise of a high school athlete in that moment to be able to maintain composure, not freak out, ran for a little bit, and then was able to get the kick away. A good mental and physical makeup there from Zachary Hess. Minimal gain on the first offensive play for Santa Fe Christian as Hogan is limited to 1.
On the play, number 54, making the stop, Iverson Sandoval.
That's Iverson Sandoval. 18 tackles coming in, 5'9", 251-pound senior making the play. You know, this run defense for Morse, for the most part, has actually done the job against Santa Fe Christian, but Santa Fe's pull a couple rabbits out of the hat, and that's where we are. They've also got some help from the Morse offense, turning the ball over a couple times.
Grupner with a toss out to Hogan. His foot hit the sideline, but there was a late whistle from the officials. They'll mark him out at the 39, and Santa Fe Christian will have 3rd and 1.
Well, this is exactly the situation that they want to be in. They like to run this play to the boundary where they don't get any pulling guard out there. And just barely stepping out of bounds was Blake Weeks on that carry. Otherwise, he probably could have gotten the first down. As it is, here's a big 3rd and 1 for the Morse defense.
Chance to get off the field, chance for Santa Fe Christian to run a little bit more clock, and they will pick up the first down. A nice surge by the left side of that line. Needed 1, got 2 out to the 41 as we check in once again with Emily.
Thanks, guys. I finally found out who number 33 was. It's Alex Pittman. He was originally number 5 this season. He changed to number 33. His brother Matthew used to play here as well. It looks like he's back, good to go on the sidelines here.
All right, Emily, thank you very much. Alex Pittman contributing in a lot of different ways. Entered the night with just 19 carries, but he has been a focal point for this offense. Lehberg ducks under a fender and takes it for a gain of 4. This is the way Santa Fe Christian wants to play. These nice, consistent, short gains to keep the clock moving.
Exactly, and so far we've seen that as the clock now runs underneath 7.5 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. And, you know, we talked, and Emily talked about Alex Pittman. It's got to feel pretty good to show off for your big brother here, as he's been key on a couple of key downs for Santa Fe Christian, as has Colton Lehberg, as we saw earlier, the sophomore.
Already 5 minutes gone here in the second half. Lehberg's got it again. Hesitated a bit and ran into the combination of Sablin and Romeo Gann.
So now here comes another critical 3rd and 4 for the Morse defense. They got to get off the field here. Santa Fe was able to convert 1 3rd down already on this drive. And I got to wonder, does Santa Fe decide to put it back up? As you see Matthew Sanford, the wide receiver, number 4, checking in. What will Thomas Greupner do at quarterback?
Greupner on the move and delivers an interception. A takeaway for Morse, and here's Jacob Hicks. Already has an offensive touchdown, an interception return down to the 30-yard line. The tackle for Santa Fe Christian made by Guldseth. A big defensive play for the Morse Tigers, and it's their star, Jacob Hicks, that sets them up with a scoring chance.
Explore the Southwest lifestyle, the culture, the music, the food, y más. Join hosts J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez on Su Vida.
When it comes to Mexican cuisine, the taco may be the most popular.
Yes, but the tamale, actually pronounced tamal, is the most loved. We're at a Mexican restaurant where this Mexican tradition is the star of the show.
This week on Su Vida.
Watch Su Vida Sunday and Monday night only on YurView and YurView.com.
So one key component that makes the Waste Management Phoenix Open so successful is Cox Business. Over 700,000 people are going to come enjoy TPC Scottsdale, from digital TV to digital phones to security, and most importantly, that free Wi-Fi all over this property. We simply couldn't do it without a partner like Cox Business. We're grateful, we're thankful, it's a hole-in-one.
You're watching YurView Football, brought to you by Carl's Jr. The Morse defense gets a big play from Jacob Hicks. Right back out there in the offensive huddle, trying to cut into a 15-point deficit here midway through the 3rd quarter of this second-round Division II matchup.
Well, Hicks has been all over the place on offense, and he got the interception here to set up the Tigers at the 30-yard line. Quick snap.
Francisco Martinez comes under center, plunges ahead for a pickup of 2. We have seen a variety of different run looks from this Morse offense.
The key is who's got the ball, first of all, and then second of all, can you hit the gap as quickly as they want to? Sometimes they're even running over their own fullbacks trying to hit the gap so quickly. We've seen them actually mess up on get a couple of illegal formation penalties on the shifts.
Alpha Sosa in there as a blocking back. Now it's a give to Daniel Thornton. Broken tackles. Thornton with a first down near the 15.
Well, this is Hicks again, giving it off to Thornton. This play's worked already a couple times. He's got 4 guys in front of him, squeezes through the hole, and then once he gets to the outside, that's free money once he gets past the first down marker, and Morse is on the move. Daniel Thornton this year, pretty good defensive back, 20 tackles, including 1 for loss, 5'8", 165. Good size for a number 2-3 back, kind of a wing back in this scheme that Morse likes to run.
There's been great distribution of carries so far in the offense, and here's a massive hole for Hicks, who cuts it upfield and has his second touchdown run of the night. An easy score for Jacob Hicks, and Morse is back within a score.
Well, we saw what Santa Fe Christian was able to do in terms of capitalizing on turnovers in the first half. Now, Morse capitalizes on a Santa Fe Christian turnover to get within 1 score. This is just what the doctor ordered. Perfect play design. Hicks gets that massive hole, like you said, Austin, and that is money in the bank for the junior. And now we got a ball game. It's a 1-score game, and Morse is going to go for 2, as they do.
And Hicks is in easily. So the touchdown and the 2-point conversion for Jacob Hicks. And Morse trims the deficit to 6. Now 14 touchdown runs for Jacob Hicks. 21-15. You're watching YurView Football, brought to you by Carl's Jr.
I started Day Tripper Tours around 33 years ago.
It's been about 25 years when I first heard about them, and I gave it a try, and I liked it, and I've been doing it ever since.
Oh, the tour guides and the bus drivers are top notch.
I like that they plan for us. We don't have to think about what we're going to do. We don't have to worry about parking. We don't have to worry about the travel.
We aren't a bus that just takes you from point A to point B. We are a full package, and we make sure that our tours hit what we call the 3 E's. They need to be engaging, educational, and entertaining.
And I found out there's a whole world of visiting areas, places to see in Los Angeles.
It seems like every place we go, it's just, we find something new, different people. We just love it.
Jacob Hicks with the interception, the touchdown run, and the 2-point conversion. But as you can see, he is getting some work from the training staff. Took a big hit, helmet right on that right elbow. That was on the 2-point conversion attempt. And he is in a fair amount of pain over on that Morse sideline.
And that was Matthew Sanford coming over trying to make the tackle for Santa Fe Christian. But by then it was too late. He was in the and Hicks was in the end zone. But now we're going to have to keep an eye on that here in the second half, as Morse is within 1 score. Capitalized on a turnover. Obviously, like we said in the first half, Santa Fe Christian capitalized on 2 Morse turnovers. So it's been a battle of turnovers in this game. Looks like we kicked the ball off a little early. It is an offside, so they back it up 5 yards, and Zachary Hess, who had that key play on the bad punt snap, getting the punt off to avert total disaster. Morse gets the interception, and now they're within 1 score.
A good kickoff from Hess. First time he's tried to kick it the length of the field, all the way back to the 10-yard line for that return. And he fails to reach the 25. So Jack Winters with a return of 14 yards, and Santa Fe Christian takes the field now, leading by only 6.
We've seen kickoff problems aplenty for both teams today, and I don't think Winters was quite expecting to have to go back and get this ball. But now if you're Morse, you can see the momentum now switching in their direction. So Santa Fe Christian would love nothing more than, like we said earlier, take the football and shove it down their throat for a good 70 yards here and put another 7 on the board to try and get back up by 2 scores.
4:56 to go in the third, and Morse spends a timeout.
Looks like they might not have had enough guys on the field.
And you wonder if that has to do with Hicks. Maybe they expect Hicks to be out there. Well, there he is, and he's still holding that right elbow.
Yeah, you can see him on the right side of your screen as he walks off the field here. But, you know, now if you're Morse, all right, your key players kind of hobbled a little bit. Who's going to step up here in the second half? We saw a couple of different guys get some carries on that previous drive. There you see Daniel Thornton, number 3, who had a key first down carry in that drive. And kind of surprised to see them run toward the boundary out there where they could go out of bounds and maybe stop the clock. And there you see Hicks. This is the big story right now. That drive, that previous Morse drive was all him. The interception, the touchdown, the 2-point conversion. This is the time when you got to dig deep. Your season's on the line.
1-yard run by Blake Weeks. 2nd down and 9, and Santa Fe Christian trying to generate some offensive rhythm here. There's Lehberg, and it'll be 3rd down and about 5.
Up to the 30-yard line.
There's big Brige White, who made the player, who made that play on a critical 2nd down. Now, who's going to make the play on the 3rd down and 5 for Morse? You saw them get a critical on that 3rd down earlier. The last time Santa Fe had the football, they forced a turnover. Hicks with the interception. You can get the ball back here down 1 score in the 3rd quarter. And the game could be well within, well, it could be anybody's game at least at that point.
Kian Hogan comes in at quarterback. He is going to fit himself, and he will not get there. And he puts the ball on the ground, alertly covered up by Santa Fe Christian. But Kian Hogan gets a snap at quarterback, and he gets bailed out by Colton Lehberg, who scrambles to recover it.
I get if you're head coach John Wallace of Santa Fe Christian, you don't want to make a mistake in your own end. But at this point in the game, when you know that you don't quite have the momentum, are you sure you want to be this conservative right now? This game is still in doubt. And now you're giving the ball back to Morse, up by just 1 score.
Ian Austin to his right gives a booming punt and gets a lot more out of the roll. Ball going to move all the way down close to the 15-yard line.
Well, then, of course, you get a
7-yard punt by Ian Austin.
Sorry, Austin. You could get a big play from your punter in that case, a 57-yard punt. We talked about the troubles that both teams have had on special teams, but that's a big play to flip the field, and now Morse has to go some 80-plus yards if they want to try and tie the ball game.
7-point lead for Santa Fe Christian, 21-14. Morse with a couple of touchdowns. They have not kicked PATs on either one. Missed a 2-point conversion and got one on the last drive with Hicks, and the ball's out. Hicks scrambling to recover it, and just as he picks it up, he gets drilled. 3 Santa Fe Christian players there pursuing that ball, and it's going to be a loss, but could have been a lot worse.
And even though it looked like the snap hit one of the up men, Hicks with a heads-up play to try and scramble for it, and even with all those Santa Fe Christian guys trying to bring him down because of forward progress, they bring him back a couple more yards, so he didn't quite lose as much as he had, but he still stayed on his feet there. I don't know, at a different level, you probably could have let that play go there for a little bit, and you just saw Hicks just toss the protective sleeve that he had on that right elbow that he's been favoring aside on the field. I'm sick of this. Let's go play football.
Hicks and Martinez lined up behind the center. This time it's Martinez. One of the Santa Fe Christian defenders knifing through. That was Christian Haynes, limiting that gain.
And that'll bring up a 3rd and long. Really nothing much here for Martinez on that one, and a great play busting through the hole. And another Morse penalty, an illegal shift. It looks like they declined the penalty. So we've seen a lot of these motion penalties, snapping the ball a little bit too quickly off of those shift plays that we see them run, where they will have actually no tight end over on the right side and 2 tight ends over on the left, or vice versa. And now we have a big 3rd down coming with Morse deep in their own territory.
Late stages of the 3rd quarter. Morse down by a score, trying to keep their drive alive, and they're going to burn another timeout. So that is the 2nd timeout used by Morse here in the 3rd quarter. One was on defense when they didn't have enough guys on the field. Now, with the play clock running down, you don't want to lose 5 yards. And if Santa Fe Christian continues to lead, those 3 timeouts, you might need all of them in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that they didn't try to take some of them in the first half when it looked like they had a chance to get the ball back. But now if you're Santa Fe Christian, you can kind of tee off a little bit on a 3rd and 10 as we're late in the 3rd quarter. By the way, quick little score update. The winner of this game, like we said earlier, plays the winner of Poway and Bishops. Got a lot of points in that game. On the other side of the bracket, Bishops is leading Poway 38-30. So Poway giving Bishops all they can handle tonight, just like Morse is giving Santa Fe Christian all they can handle in this game as we come back to play.
Bishops the top seed in the section, and the winner of this game will have their hands full if it's Bishops that moves on. Johnny Mosty back in there, quarterback, going to let it rip, and the catch is made up at the 34. Jump ball, and Brige White, fantastic athlete, makes a play.
I'm surprised we didn't see this a little bit earlier. Brige White is 6'3" tall, 240 pounds. Just throw the ball up to him. Like you said, Austin, go make the catch in 1-on-1 coverage. Let's see if they come back to that option. He's listed as a tight end on the roster, a junior. He only had 9 catches on the year, as long as a 29 on the season, but that was a big 3rd down conversion for Morse.
Mosty stays in there, quarterback, and hands off. Big play here for Jacob Hicks. Spins into Santa Fe Christian territory, and he's down at the 47.
Now this time they ran out of a spread formation, so that opened up the field. When you see Mosty out there in the 2nd half, the adjustment that Morse has made is they're giving a little bit more of a threat for the pass, so that opens up some more running lanes for Jacob Hicks. That's one of the best. That's one of the most solid runs that we've seen from him in this 2nd half. Aside from the touchdown, he's starting to see space in that Santa Fe defense.
Martinez in there as a blocker. There's a quick flip out to Sablin. Broken tackles, and he is spun down just shy of the 30. The Morse offense working with chunk plays here after that 3rd down conversion from Mosty to White.
It's amazing what a 3rd down conversion will do for your momentum. And so far, Mosty, who had that initial fumble on his first play, he's been spot on here in the 2nd half. And how about the moves by Talon Sablin? And now we have an injured player down there for Santa Fe Christian. That's Jack Hartung, the senior.
Team's leading tackler. Yeah, that 79 stops on the year.
Yeah, that is not what you want to see if you're Santa Fe Christian here, with Morse moving the ball. Obviously, hope Jack's okay.
Hartung was in position to have a chance to make the tackle on Sablin, and he was hit hard by an offensive lineman coming out to try to pave the way for a big gain. So as Hartung heads toward the sideline, we spend a moment down on the field with Emily.
Thanks, guys. You know, I was over on the Morse sideline. We've seen some injuries here tonight. Hicks was taken out, but he's back, and we've seen him contribute quite a bit already on the field. I talked to the training staff over there. They were not too concerned with him. They said everything's fine. We've obviously seen him doing quite well. The Morse sideline seemed to already be pretty excited about the rest of this game. So we'll see how it goes down the rest of the time here.
Emily, momentum certainly on their side, and there goes Jacob Hicks. His 3rd touchdown run of the night brings Morse to within a point.
Well, what a support. This is not a surprise here for Jacob Hicks. We talked about how good he's been the last couple weeks and the warrior that he's been. Watch, he gets the snap, obviously the threat to throw from Mosty, gets that one move. All you need is that one little sideways move. You pick your hole in the zone blocking and then head upfield as he has been doing. And now Morse with a chance to take the lead on a 2-point conversion attempt.
They have not attempted a kick yet, and this play looms large in the closing seconds of the third quarter. It'll be Hicks picking his way in untouched. How about the third quarter for Hicks? An interception, 2 touchdown runs, 2 touchdown conversions, and he has gotten his team into the lead by a point.
Boy, the second half has been all Jacob Hicks. Like you said, that was easy. Getting the 2-point conversion, and suddenly we have a thriller here at Torrey Pines, a 1-point game. Morse has come all the way back, and now Santa Fe Christian. What do they do to answer?
A 21-6 game at the half. Morse with 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions here in the third quarter, and they have surged into the lead.
And it all started on the Hicks interception on the third down on Santa Fe Christian's first possession of the third. That got them the good field position. They got the short field. They got the touchdown. They got the 2-point conversion. And now momentum is squarely on the shoulders of Morse right now.
Outscoring Santa Fe Christian 16-0 here in the third. Winters on the return. His best effort of the night in the return game takes it up to the 36. 15 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Likely one play from Santa Fe Christian, and then we will be off to the fourth.
Well, here you go. Now is crunch time. November, like we said, is when legends are made. Who's the guy who's going to step up in this running back by committee offense for Santa Fe Christian? Who's going to break the big play that could get them back in control of the ball game?
Last snap was Kian Hogan at quarterback. Now it is back to Thomas Grupner. Grupner going to put it up in the air, and he's got a wide open man. Winters makes the catch, sidesteps a defender, and chugs his way down to the 43 of Morse.
Little bit of Ike Hilliard, the old Florida Gator, in the Sugar Bowl, making this play as it looks like Jack Winters is hurt, but made the catch, stopped on a dime, let the defender go right past him and pick up the extra yardage. And let's check and see if Jack is okay. But like we said, not used to seeing Santa Fe Christian go to the air, but they were able to, but they've done so to good effect. And here throwing on first down. You don't usually see that. Look at that move. Excellent job by Jack. And let's see the end of the play here. Looks like right there off the top, a couple of those Morse defenders kind of squeezing him up around his head.
And Martinez trying to make the tackle, definitely made contact to the helmet of Winters.
Nothing
just
intentional.
His 4th reception of the year.
Sorry, Austin, nothing intentional. It's one of those things that does happen, but the training staff out to take a look at Jack Winters. 5'10", 170 senior.
Amazing some of the things we have seen in this game when you think about unlikely situations. Santa Fe Christian had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Colton Lehberg had only carried it once all year. He gets a touchdown in the first quarter. Kian Hogan, without a catch all season, gets a touchdown reception. And there on first down, Jack Winters. Big play in the return, big play in the receiving game. Gets Santa Fe Christian into Morse territory. We are through 3. Headed for an exciting fourth quarter. You're watching YurView Football, brought to you by Carl's Jr.
For great ideas for health, beauty, and your home, watch YurView Marketplace, weekdays from 2:30 to 4 p.m. here on YurView. On YurView Marketplace, you'll receive useful tips from beauty and celebrity experts. Be introduced to invigorating health ideas and products, and get a peek at the latest innovative home appliances and services that will save you time and enrich your life. Tune in to YurView Marketplace, weekdays from 2:30 to 4 p.m. on YurView.
Where do you want to go? An epic beach vacation? A road trip through the American heartland? Or somewhere fun off the beaten path? You'll find those and much more on Destination San Diego. Jazz concerts, rotating galleries, and interactive exhibits at the San Diego Museum of Art. It's vibrant and constantly evolving. Visitors will always find something fresh and interesting. Join Destination San Diego with Brittany Pierce and uncover your own destination at the San Diego Museum of Art. On YurView, Sundays at 6:30, Wednesdays at 8.
Change it up, okay? Catch him off guard. Get in the trench. Do what you do. To the 30, to the 20. Battling his way to the end zone. Nobody can stop him. Intercepted down the sideline. Nobody's going to catch him.
You hungry for the Big Carl and those juicy double patties? Get yours today at Carl's Jr.
You're watching YurView Football, brought to you by Carl's Jr. What a third quarter it was for Morse Jr. Jacob Hicks.
Yeah, it's been the Jacob Hicks show in this half as they were down 21-6, and on a key third down, he makes this interception, puts Morse into position to, well, give himself his second touchdown of the game off that bunch formation. And then later on, with Jacob Mossy at quarterback, Morse has spread their formations out a little bit, or excuse me, Johnny Mossy at quarterback. They're able to spread their formation, and that's opened up some more running lanes for Jacob Hicks. 2 touchdowns in this half, 9 touchdowns the last 3 games for number 6 for Morse.
A remarkable run for the junior. Now the onus on Santa Fe Christian to try and answer, in the fourth quarter starts with a run by Blake Weeks. Santa Fe Christian into Morse territory, trying to regain the lead.
And if you're Santa Fe Christian, it's, look, we've been here before. Yeah, we're down only 1. We got the better kicking game. We think we've got the better running game. We've got some good field position. Let's just do what we do and get the lead one more time.
Grupner with a straight give. Lehberg lowering his shoulder, driving down toward the 30-yard line. That'll be enough to move the chains.
And this is the execution of power football to a T. And how about the job that Colton Lehberg has done? The 5'4" sophomore hasn't really done much all this season. Like you said, 1 carry coming into today.
Negative 3 yards.
Yeah, and he's been active, very active for this, again, running back by committee offense for Santa Fe Christian.
Jack Winters injured at the end of the third quarter. He is not out there to start the fourth. There's Hogan trying to turn it upfield on a counter. Good penetration defensively there from Mike Malaulu.
Kian Hogan's been pretty quiet in this half. In particular, that's his first carry that we've seen. But as we come upon the 10-minute mark, if you're Santa Fe Christian, the other thing you want to do is start running that clock a little bit more. If we're going to get some points, if we're in striking distance, try not to leave Morse as much time, because you know that they're going to try and run some clock as well.
Morse outscored Santa Fe Christian 16-0 in that third quarter, erasing the 15-point halftime deficit. The give on the jet sweep. Broken tackle there. Blake Weeks working his way down to the 14. Absorbed a big shot from Romeo Gann at the end of the run. But this is the way Santa Fe Christian wants to operate offensively.
And the other part of this that we were talking about is that now you're starting to see Morse get a little tired. You see the missed tackles downfield. You said the quick snap and the jet sweep. And Weeks able to find the hole, squeeze through, and gain some extra yardage. And now Santa Fe Christian is well within striking distance to try and retake the lead. And you see them taking their time on the substitutions. We're just going to let that play clock run, try and run it down as low as we possibly can, try and snap the ball underneath 5 seconds.
Something to think about. If Santa Fe Christian does score, they will have to go for 2 to try to make it a 7-point game. Yep. 2-point conversions for Morse, changing things a bit as Lehberg gains about 3. Martinez, the leading tackler for Morse, in on that stop.
And he's been active on both sides of the ball, as have a number of guys back there for the secondary for Morse. Can they force another turnover here, potentially up 1? I'm sure they would love to at this point. If you're Santa Fe, just keep doing what you're doing.
Already more than 3 minutes gone. That play busted from the start. Thomas Grupner with nothing to do but try to hold on to it and absorb a shot. Paris Thompson along with Malaulu.
Looked like the up back went one way and the quarterback went the other. And there you saw it right there. It looked like Colton Lehberg hit the line a little bit too quickly. And Grupner couldn't turn around to actually give him the option. Morse was able to read that and kind of blow up the play from the beginning.
3rd down and 11. And Santa Fe Christian will spend a timeout. So Mike Siciliano, the offensive coordinator, they'll talk to John Wallace and they'll figure out what they want to call here on 3rd down and 11. We've seen a couple of trick plays work well for Santa Fe Christian, including a long pass to Chase Levesque that set up the first touchdown of the game.
Yeah, this is a key play. This might be the play of the game for both squads right now as we toss it back down to the field and Emily Harlan. Emily, what's up?
Thanks, guys. I was down here at the sideline for Santa Fe Christian. I saw Winters on the trainer's table. It seemed like they were doing some sort of concussion testing for him. A couple of the fans were yelling out here about some helmet-to-helmet contacts for the rest to keep an eye on. But so far, it seems like he's doing okay, although we don't see him back on the field yet.
All right, Emily, on 3rd down and 11, it's Lehberg that gets the carry, trying to run a quick hitter in the middle of that defense. And it's been a good series for Mike Malaulu. 17 tackles for loss for the 285-pound senior, and he was in on several stops there late in that drive. And so now 4th down for Santa Fe Christian, and they will attempt a field goal.
And it will be Austin coming out this year. He's only 2 for 3, and as long as from 32 yards out.
Good snap, good hold. Austin's kick is good. So Santa Fe Christian regains the lead on the field goal from Ian Austin. The junior splits the uprights. Santa Fe Christian by 2. You're watching YurView Football, brought to you by Carl's Jr. And we will keep it here after that made field goal.
Hey, not too bad for a junior kicker who's only attempted 3 field goals on the year to make a clutch 4th quarter kick like that in the state playoffs. That's something that you might want to, if you're Santa Fe Christian, you got to be thankful for. Obviously, Morse doesn't even bother attempting field goals as far as we can see. But the kicking game has been key. Special teams have been key in this game, as have turnovers, Austin.
And essentially, just getting the lead was most important for Santa Fe Christian. Obviously, you wanted it to be a touchdown, but Morse is not going to attempt a field goal.
Right.
So regardless of whether you're up 2 or you're up 5, you don't have to worry about getting beat by a field goal. You just got to keep Morse out of the end zone.
Right. But now that we're starting to see, obviously in this half, that's been hard enough for the Santa Fe defense to do because Morse has opened it up. And I've been really interested to see what the Tigers, what sort of look the Tigers show on offense with Johnny Mosty possibly back out there at quarterback. Are they going to keep it with the power run game, or are they going to try and spread the field a little bit down 2 points?
Good kickoff from Ian Austin. It will bounce into the end zone. So with 7.5 minutes to go, the Tigers will start from the 20.
Boy, this is crunch time here in the CIF playoffs. We've seen so many games over the course of years in November, and this one right here, once again, we could have another fantastic finish once again between these two schools. I thought at halftime that Morse had it in them to come back. They did. That was a big drive by Santa Fe Christian to retake the lead. Now what does Morse do to answer? And they are going to spread the field here.
So Johnny Mosty, freshman, stays in there. And this drive will start with, I believe, a procedure penalty.
This is at least the 5th procedure penalty that I've seen on Morse so far tonight.
And the mistakes have not been exclusive to one side of the ball. We've seen some false starts on offense. We've seen offside on defense, even saw offside on a kickoff from Morse.
And the other the problem that they've seen mostly on offense is they're not getting set before snapping the ball. You must be set for at least 1 second before you snap that football. They're so anxious to get the play going because they see the look that they want. And now they're going to run a little bit out of the pistol.
Fake to Hicks, Mosty on the run, and that's incomplete. Trying to find Martinez out of the backfield. 2nd down and 15.
Now that's a tough play for a freshman quarterback to make, and Mosty is a freshman. He's 19 of 33 on the year coming in, and you've got him rolling away from his throwing hand. So if he makes the proper throw there, it's going to be low and away anyway. He's trying to avoid the defender most of all. That's a really tough play for a freshman to make.
What a spot for the freshman. 2nd round of the playoffs, trying to lead a team down the field to regain the lead. Initial hole was there, started to close for Hicks. What looked like it might be a big gain goes for just 5, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Yeah, you see how this spread formation is working. They're getting the right matchups that they want and getting some good chunks of yardage. But now they get the penalty back. It's still a big 3rd and 10 here. And I'm keeping my eye on big number 11, Brigé White, the tight end, who converted that 3rd down a couple drives ago. Let's see where Mosty decides to go.
White lines up to the top of your screen, number 11. Mosty throws an interception, picked off by Jack Winters. Back out there and making a big play on defense.
Wow, we just heard about Jack Winters being looked at by the team doctors on the sidelines after he took that shot earlier, and now he gets a critical interception in the 4th quarter and sets up Santa Fe Christian with a chance to go up 2 scores. Watch Most, he's going over the middle on the crosser, and Winters going back in the zone, makes a great athletic play and gets a good return out of it too.
Very similar part of the field to where Jacob Hicks had his game-changing interception in that 3rd quarter. This time, it's Winters for Santa Fe Christian, and with 6.5 minutes to go, the Eagles have a chance, as Jeff mentioned, to make it a 2-possession game. You start with a run from Lehberg.
That interception was the 3rd turnover of the night for Morse. In addition, they also turned the ball over on downs earlier. It's been their mistakes that have come back to bite them, as now we have a false start by Santa Fe Christian. So a mistake by the Eagles pushes them back 5 yards. So it's no play, so it'll be 1st down and 15 now. And boy, what a critical mistake that could be right now, because obviously you have a kicker who we know can make a long field goal if you need to, but even if you do, that keeps it a 1-score game. So if you're Morse's defense, you must force a turnover or hold them to 3.
And as we mentioned, Morse with just 1 timeout. Good carry there from Blake Weeks. Well, I beg your pardon, that is not Weeks, it is Kian Hogan.
And that was a quick pitch to the outside. Good job by Hogan staying in bounds, too, to keep that clock running as well, even though they ran that toss to the short side. If you're Santa Fe Christian, that's a big key right now. If you're going to get the ball, make sure you go down in bounds, keep that clock running.
Run got 6, 2nd down and 9. Now under 6 minutes to go here in the 4th. Santa Fe Christian trying to add to a 24-22 lead. Grupner to throw, looking for Hogan, unable to make a one-handed catch. Sablin right there in coverage for Morse.
This was the same play that they got the touchdown on in the 1st half, but this time it was a great play by Sablin in coverage. Santa Fe wanted an interference call, but Sablin looking back for the ball. See, that's the key. When you look back for the ball, the officials are going to give you the benefit of the doubt. And now it looks like Hogan is hurt on the play. Looks like that might be a cramp.
trainers are working on his right leg. A 3rd down and 9 upcoming. 5:41 on the clock. And a field goal here doesn't do a lot for Santa Fe Christian because Morse is not going to kick a game-winning field goal.
Right.
The Tigers need a touchdown. That's the only way they have scored tonight. They haven't attempted an extra point yet this year, or in this game rather. Yes. You figure a field goal is probably not an option, so a touchdown is incredibly valuable, but a field goal puts you up 5, you still get beat by a touchdown.
Yeah, sorry about Austin, but like you said, Zach Hess is the kicker, listed as the kicker for Morse. He's only attempted 3 PATs all year, has not attempted a field goal. So there's the big 3rd and 9.
3rd down and 9, a double handoff. No room for Blake Weeks to run, so the ball at the 24, it would be a 41-yard field goal from that position for Ian Austin.
This is a risky play call. 2 exchanges, and you see the little bobble on the second exchange as Weeks got it on the inside. They're lucky they held on to the ball. Now that at least they have a chance to get some points on a 4th and 9 as we come upon the 5-minute mark.
This would be a season long for Austin. I think you might go for it here. That kick is wide left, no good. So Santa Fe Christian fails to take advantage of the interception by Winters. 5:04 remaining here at Torrey Pines. We are going down to the wire between Morse and Santa Fe Christian.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Where do you want to go? An epic beach vacation? A road trip through the American heartland? Or somewhere fun off the beaten path? You'll find those and much more on Destination San Diego. The best way to get the most out of your visit to San Diego's Balboa Park is with the Explorer Pass, which gives you access to amazing museums and more for one great price. Join Destination San Diego with Brittany Pierce and uncover your own destination with the Balboa Park Explorer Pass. Sundays at 6:30, Wednesdays at 8 on YurView.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
You're watching YurView Football, brought to you by Carl's Jr. A slim 2-point lead for Santa Fe Christian with 5:04 remaining in the game. Does Morse have what it takes to put together a drive here with Jacob Hicks toting the rock? A flag is thrown behind the play. That is in the area of holding. And that is indeed the call. So not a promising start for Morse. They will back up close to their own 10-yard line. As we remind you that this week on YurView's high school recruiting podcast, Over the Middle, we wrap up the season with a look at college football's silly season and the impacts it will have on the SEC recruiting trail. Jeremy is joined by Richard Davenport of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and WholeHogSports.com to talk about the opening at Arkansas and what the Hogs must do to become relevant again. All that and more on this week's episode of the Over the Middle podcast.
Back to the spread formation for Morse here on 1st and 15 after the hold.
And Hicks repositioning Paris Thompson. They put him in the backfield. Hicks going to run a route. Mosty looking for him, and he makes the catch.
Out.
Spins away from a defender. Hicks out beyond midfield. Finally hit from behind at the 31-yard line. A flag down at the 36. That's probably going to go against Morse, but even if it is, still a huge play. And how about the alertness and the confidence of Hicks? He took Paris Thompson and said, no, you go in the backfield. I'm standing here and running the route and making the big play.
And he got open on the crossing route, but now we're seeing how far. Let's see how far back they're going to be bringing this, because the late flag at the end looked like it might have been, like you said, Austin, for a bad block at the end of the play. But now it looks like they're bringing it all the way back. Let's see what the call is here. Block in the back decline. You're having another illegal procedure penalty on Morse. So 2 penalties on 1 play, and that wipes out the long gain. That is a killer. And you saw how upset Hicks was walking off the field after he got that huge gain. It looked like it was on number 54, Iverson Sandoval, who is absolutely dejected in the Morse huddle because he cost his team a huge play and key field position. So now you back it up, it's going to be first and 20.
I mean, the penalty officially is 5 yards, but when you consider where Hicks ended up, it turns out to be a 65-yard penalty. Would have had it at the 30-yard line of Santa Fe Christian. Now Mosty in his own end zone gets rid of it to the near sideline, nowhere close to Sablin. And it's going to be second down and 20.
Yeah, Sablin was running an up and out. And Mosty got rid of it way too soon. It looks like he might be shaken up a little bit.
Let's go down to the field and check in with Emily.
Thanks, guys. You know, Winters was injured here. He jumped up off the trainer's table when they cleared him. Of course, we saw him make that interception earlier in this quarter. One of the coaches out here said they were so excited to have him back, that he's a stud. He's a key to this team here. The sideline is getting these fans into this game. Of course, Morse keeping it close. Back to you guys.
All right, Emily. Hand off to Jacob Hicks. He is held up inbounds and then loses the football, puts it on the deck, and it's recovered by Santa Fe Christian.
Oh, what a mistake. You know, your heart goes out to Jacob Hicks because he was trying to make a play. They said, look, give me the ball. He was late getting back to the huddle because he basically said, look, just give me the football. Takes the handoff, gets most of the penalty back, but it looks like he's looking for someone to lateral the ball to here. See, he's looking back for it, and then he just loses the ball, and Santa Fe Christian pounces on it. What a mistake. He is absolutely exhausted and dejected after that play.
That young man has given everything to his team tonight.
And then some.
An unfortunate mistake there, and Santa Fe Christian now with less than 4 minutes to go. Remember, Morse only has 1 timeout. Had to use 2 timeouts earlier in the half. They give the ball up. The Eagles jump on top of it. Blake Weeks not securing the football with 2 hands. Unfortunately for him and the Eagles, it was recovered by Santa Fe Christian.
Oh my goodness, how many Tigers looked at this and said we had a shot at it. The ball stripped out, it's hopping up in the air. 3 guys had a shot at it. And a heads-up play.
I think it was Hogan that got it.
It was Hogan, yeah, who got on top of it.
But again, pay attention to the clock in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. That continues to run. Morse with just 1 timeout remaining.
Not out of the woods yet, though, if you're Santa Fe Christian.
A big hit delivered by Duron Yarborough.
That's a big defensive play when you need it to force the long 3rd down. Yarborough reads this perfectly, splits the blockers, gets to the backfield, and gets a hold of Jack Winters. And letting the Morse sideline know, hey guys, we're not done yet. Big 3rd and 10, Morse can still get the ball back here as that clock continues to run. This is your season right here if you're Morse. On a 3rd and 11 with 2.5 to go.
A touchdown here likely sends Santa Fe Christian to the next round, and even a 1st down is going to make it extremely difficult on Morse with just the 1 timeout remaining. John Wallace heading out before the biggest play call of the season. Santa Fe Christian trying to salt it away.
I'm Haley Stasiak with your Game Time Minute, presented by Carl's Jr. You hungry for the Big Carl and those juicy double patties? Get yours today at Carl's Jr. In the San Diego section Open Division, number 2 Cathedral Catholic takes on number 3 Carlsbad. The Dons and the Lancers matched up in the same positioning last season in the Open Division. Cathedral Catholic shut out Carlsbad 35-0 and went on to win the title. In Division 2, Morse matches up with Santa Fe Christian. Keep an eye on the Tigers' backfield in running backs Michael Cunningham and Jacob Hicks. The two combined for 2,028 yards and 27 touchdowns. As the 4 seed, the Eagles got a bye last week, so they're coming off some rest ahead of this big matchup with the Tigers. That's what we've got for your Game Time Minute. Our featured game of the week is number 3 Mission Hills versus number 6 La Costa Canyon in Division I action. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. And don't forget to subscribe.
Tonight's Game Time play of the game is sponsored by Carl's Jr. These double beef patties on the Big Carl aren't going to eat themselves. They're sitting here at Carl's Jr., covered in sauce and cheese, just waiting for you to devour. Come and get it now.
You're watching YurView Football, brought to you by Carl's Jr. 3rd down and 11 for Santa Fe Christian. Eagles try to add to a 2-point lead, and a double pass is thrown into the end zone, incomplete. Jack Hartung trying to get it to Matthew Sanford. A trick play there. The clock stops with 2:19, and now it's 4th down.
Great play by number 10, Trey Hammock, the 5'11 sophomore, knocking that pass away. It was double coverage with him and Savlin back there. And this is 4-down territory, I think, if you're Santa Fe Christian, with 2:19 to go, although that pass stopped the clock. So that's a critical time. That's a critical moment here. Now they are going to go for it here on 4th and 11 to try and pick up the 1st down.
Grouper eluding pressure, very close to the sideline. He's knocked into it by Deron Yarborough. A couple of huge plays on that sequence of downs for Yarborough, and Morse gets it back with 2:11 to go.
Now, this is one of those things where you kind of have to throw it to the end zone. It looked like Grupner didn't really know where he was on the field. Like, he thought he had more room than he did, and he ended up almost running out of bounds, and then eventually he just did. You know, at that point, it's like, why not throw the ball into the end zone, see if you can make a play, maybe a pass interference call? Who knows?
So an opportunity for redemption for Jacob Hicks. Fumbled on the last drive for Morse, but his defense comes up big, and he's back out there with 2:11 to go. Works his way through a hole, out to the 30-yard line. Again, just one timeout for Morse, so the clock continues to run, about to tick under 2 minutes to go.
They got to go 80 yards in 2 minutes, but here's how you do it. Out of that spread formation, they give it to Hicks. We saw how dejected he was after that last possession, but now is where you give him the ball and say, listen, you've carried us to this point, take us to the promised land, down 2.
Deron Yarborough, a big target, lines up in the slot. Mosty to throw, looking in the direction of White, who makes the catch but out of bounds.
Look like
looking for a flag, none coming, and it's going to be 3rd down.
Yeah, the officials have been letting them play here, especially late. Matthew Sanford for Santa Fe Christian was back there in coverage. But that's the right call for me if you're looking to pass the ball. Throw it up to your 6'3" tight end and see what he can do. A little bit too far out on the sideline. Morse wanted the flag, they're not going to get it. Now here's your big 3rd and 3.
Well, obviously 2-down territory, but Morse has got to have some urgency offensively. Here's Hicks trying to spin his way forward, and he won't get there, and the play goes for no gain. 4th down, and the clock continues to run.
Now, by our count, Morse has 1 timeout left, and I hear whistles. It looks like they might be taking it right now with 1:17 left and a big 4th and 3 to come.
So Coach Tracy McNair elects to burn the timeout, and Morse will have one play to try to save their season. They don't pick it up, no timeout. Santa Fe Christian can take a knee, and that will be the game.
Yeah, this is the winner of this will likely face the Knights of Bishops. Last we checked, up 52-38 on Poway, the #1 seed. Bishops trying to move on. We saw what they did to Santa Fe Christian a couple weeks ago in the rivalry game. They beat them 49-0. Santa Fe Christian would love nothing more than another shot at the Knights, especially after a tough contest like there. Here we go.
4th down and 3. Morse has to have it, and it's Hicks that is lined up at quarterback. He'll take the direct snap. The ball's bobbled, and he is tackled back at the 22, and that's going to end it.
What a defensive stop by the Eagles. And Hicks, I was surprised that they went with the power run formation with under a minute and 15 to go there. I know it's 4th and 3, but watch Hicks. Fumbles the snap. It looked like it might not have worked anyway. And Santa Fe Christian's going to get out of here with the win. Survive and advance in the San Diego section. Victory formation time for the Eagles.
Santa Fe Christian lost their final 2 games of the regular season. They did not play last week, had a bye, so had to think about those losses. They come in here tonight and they show some resiliency, build the 21-6 lead. Morse comes back, scores 16 unanswered. Santa Fe Christian gets what turns out to be a game-winning field goal from Ian Austin. A couple of huge defensive stands in the 4th quarter. And Santa Fe Christian is going to get a shot at the top seed Bishops next week.
And you got to give a ton of credit to John Wallace and his coaching staff at Santa Fe Christian. You know, he took over for Brian Sipe, the former Cleveland Brown quarterback. Remember, for the Cardiac Kids, Santa Fe Christian graduate, moved on to San Diego State. They won 4 titles under Brian Sipe, but this certainly a Cardiac Kids-esque performance by Santa Fe Christian, and they're going to move on to get another shot at Bishops, and they would love nothing more than that. They're going to get their shot at their rival in the semifinals.
The goal was to limit mistakes, and Santa Fe Christian did that tonight. They made fewer mistakes, and that is ultimately the reason for the win. 24-22. Here's the play of the game brought to you by Carl's Jr. And it's the touchdown pass to Kian Hogan. His first catch of the season is a touchdown. Part of an effort that helped Santa Fe Christian take a 21-6 halftime lead, and they ultimately rally to win 24-22. We will step aside. Jeff and I back with some of the plays of the game. Great game tonight between Santa Fe Christian and Morse. It's the Eagles that are moving on.
Tonight's player of the game is sponsored by Carl's Jr. You hungry for the double juicy beef patties of the Big Carl? Bet you want some of that classic sauce and double the melty cheese too. Get the Big Carl, only at Carl's Jr.
Explore the Southwest lifestyle, the culture, the music, the food, y más. Join hosts J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez on Su Vida.
When it comes to Mexican cuisine, the taco may be the most popular.
Yes, but the tamale, actually pronounced tamal, is the most loved. We're at a Mexican restaurant where this Mexican tradition is the star of the show.
This week on Su Vida.
Watch Su Vida Sunday and Monday night only on YurView and YurView.com. From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health.
I'm Erica Cardenas, and on the next episode of Your Health, we're talking dental hygiene. We'll get expert advice on your dental health.
Plus, learn how Permadontics is helping patients get their smiles back. Watch Your Health Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday only on YurView. Brought to you by Permadontics. Request your free consultation at permadontics.com.
Change it up, okay? Catch him off guard. Get in the trench. Do what you do. To the 30, to the 20. Battling his way to the end zone. Nobody can stop him. Intercepted down the sideline. Nobody's going to catch him.
You hungry for the Big Carl and those juicy double patties? Get yours today at Carl's Jr. You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Great game tonight here at Torrey Pines. Santa Fe Christian hangs on to beat Morse 24-22. The Eagles moving on to the 3rd round of the playoffs. Our player of the game could have picked a lot of players from this Santa Fe Christian defense. Luca Torti made the big plays to earn the honor.
Yeah, tackle for loss, a couple of key fumble recoveries as well for Luca. Really, we could have picked any number of guys for Santa Fe Christian's defense as they held the line right down to the end. and sealed up the victory here against Morse to advance to the next round and face their rivals from Bishops in the semis.
Jack Winters with an interception late. Santa Fe Christian defense able to get the stop they needed in the final minute to hang on and win this game 24-22. Great game, competitive from both sides. A number of Iron Men that started on both sides of the ball.
Oh, no doubt about it. And I would certainly want to send out a little bit of love as well to Jacob Hicks, the do-it-all running back for Morse. A spectacular game, led the comeback, coming up just a little bit short for the Tigers against the Eagles tonight.
Morse finishes 7-5. Santa Fe Christian improves to 7-4. For Emily Harlan, Jeff Sharon, and our entire crew, Austin Lyons saying so long from Torrey Pines. It's the Santa Fe Christian Eagles that are moving on. Great game here. YurView Football brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Game Time on YurView has been sponsored by Carl's Jr. You ready to get saucy? We thought so. With 2 patties of juicy char-broiled beef, American cheese, and classic sauce between 2 toasted seeded buns. Things might get a little sloppy,